Hey, this is episode 189 of the Collector's Quest podcast. In this episode, we are going over the history of Collector's Edition and Special Edition games as far as we could find and we could research. We are focused on the earlier stuff from the 70s, 80s, and early 90s because there's almost nothing from that era, but then we're going to breeze through some of the stuff from the late 90s to 2000s to the modern era, which obviously we can't go over all that because every other game has limited edition now. So tell your mom about the show, give us 5 stars on iTunes, and let's go. Back to another episode of Collector's Quest. I'm Tyler, here with Johnny. What's going on, Johnny?
Hey, how's it going, dude?
I'm doing all right, Johnny. I mean, my life's just consumed by staying home playing RuneScape right now. It's a very boring life, but hopefully you have something better for me.
I thought you gave that up.
So they have leagues, so I play an account that I'm not allowed to trade with other players because basically the entire economy is run by bots, and I don't want to take a part in it. So they run every year. They run like a 6-week league where you basically have to play as hard as you fucking can for like 6 weeks, and then you get rewards at the end of the league depending on what you did. And these rewards, if you convert them to the real money gold value, like the rewards I'm going for, add them all up, maybe it's worth $7 to $10. And I've been playing for dozens and dozens of hours because the only way I can get these rewards is if I actually play the league because I can't buy them on my account.
That sounds terrible.
Oh, it's great. You should
I think
get
you
in and come
have
grind with
used
me.
the wrong words.
I started like joining some chat channels in RuneScape, and just everyone talking about their life who plays this game seems like they have like a pretty bad life. RuneScape sure seems like an escape for some people. It's almost like wasting hours of your life doing almost nothing playing an MMO is not what people who have great lives do.
Huh. That's weird. I've spent a lot of hours on MMOs. I got an okay life.
RuneScape's like a special kind of MMO where, like, I know MMOs are repetitive. I don't know. It's maybe the most boring and repetitive MMO I've ever played.
Yeah, RuneScape.
Which is why I come back to it, though.
I love like grinding things out, but RuneScape, the idea of RuneScape kind of makes me want to die.
I'll tell you what I did all weekend, Johnny. There was a grind. I had to do a run. I had to kill one dude and open a chest. It took me 57 seconds. I timed it. That's how long it took to do a run. And it was supposed to take me 2.5 hours to get the thing I want, and it took me 12.5 hours doing a 57-second loop of killing a guy. It's basically my entire weekend getting this set of items that I needed. And it's going to be gone in 3 weeks because the league ends.
You could have done anything like hung out with your wife.
She was probably sitting next to me playing Pokemon Legends.
See, you don't know. The both of you consumed. Have you considered maybe looking at each other and talking?
Yeah. I tell her how my grind's going. She tells me how her grind's going.
I love that you guys are just like... I love that you guys just like turn and look at each other. This thing is ruining my life. Yeah, me too. Like, as if there's no solutions.
Why can't you go back to just buying video games? Why are you playing this piece of shit?
This is why buying games is better than playing.
Oh, it's true.
So if you also want to waste your life, here's some. If you want to buy games and also waste your life, I've got a site for you. Maybe you've heard of it. It's called the WhatsApp.
What? You didn't even say it right. What?
I know. WhatsApp is a different thing. It's this fucking thing and its stupid yellow W. I got brought into this thing, I don't know, 2 months ago, 3 months. It was like before Christmas. And I was checking it out and it was pretty boring. And everybody's trying to be a big personality and then like wading through the slog of like a bunch of bullshit games to like try and fight, 35 people for one decent thing is awful. But you get into the sunk cost fallacy. You're like, well, I've been here this long. Gotta do something. It's awful. I do not recommend. I know people like it and they're having a lot of fun. They keep trying to tell me to go. And like, even on our Discord, there was some discussion about it, but yeah, I hated it pretty quickly. And I don't know how you feel about it. I know you've kind of looked at it a few times and other people are trying to look at it. How do you feel about it?
No, I've also had a bunch of people ask me to check it out because I hear the comic people talk about it, but I mean, it seems like there's plenty of video game people doing it too. And people are like, hey, talk about Whatnot. So I've been on Whatnot. I've pressed bid a few times on Whatnot, but then immediately got outbid. I guess to explain what Whatnot is, it's basically just random people who are live streaming their auctions. So they will prop up a video camera on themselves and then hold up. They'll just have like a stack of loose NES games or something.
It's QVC live auctions.
Sure. They'll just hold it up, talk about how great it is, and then you have like it's like a 30-second auction. It goes right away, which is I think it's fun, Johnny.
It FOMOs you and it's sunk cost. So like it's just preying on you twice.
There's So I think the default is like you get 10 seconds. So the auctions start at $1, and every time someone bids, it goes back up to 10 seconds. But then, or like 10 or 15 or something like that. There's some mechanic I heard about, but I've never seen, where if people start bidding and there's only 5 seconds left, either the timer starts only going back up to 5 seconds, or the timer doesn't go back up at all. It's called like sudden death or something. So that like really starts making people panic and bid, which I think is hilarious because it's just like blatantly trying to get people to bid without thinking.
Yes.
But I also love live auctions. The problem is I can't win any of these auctions for some reason. You'll see like an auction, this guy will have 100 items for sale. It's like, wow, only 27 people are here. Maybe I'll win something. And I still won't win anything.
Yeah.
But
so you know what? It strikes me like this app was made out of, if you follow any of the big comic guys, like they will have, oh God, what's the big one? Elite Comics. Like they run like a live auction. And it seems like it caters to like a better program than just Instagram stories or live, to handle that kind of event.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's got a whole interface and everything set up just for the auction, but, one of the auctions that I sat through, so there's a guy who had just boxes and boxes of Japanese stuff. And he was like a real kind of hype guy. Like he seemed like a guy who knew a lot about American games, maybe didn't know the most about Japanese games. It seemed like him or his buddy who was with him went on one of the Japanese auction sites and just bought everything that they knew of. So like, all the Pokemons, all the Mario parties, all the stuff that's just fucking worthless in Japan, but you can get it for $5 and then sell here for like $20. And that's exactly what he was doing. I sit through like live arcade auctions. Like if you've never been to an arcade auction, like sit down and prepare for fucking a 12-hour day.
Oh my God, it's the worst.
Arcade auctions are long. Yeah. I sit through heritage auctions because like usually like every item will be somewhat interesting because they try to cater to higher end stuff. So even if you're sitting there for 2 or 3 hours, and I never make it through an entire auction anymore, but yeah, like usually there's interesting stuff to at least see prices on. But man, sitting through an auction that takes hours and it's a guy holding up and hyping a loose copy of Pokemon Blue Japanese for Game Boy that's worth $8, it's like really starting to question if it's worth spending my time.
I think that's what I said. I don't think it's a great use of time, and I like live auctions can be fun. But I did the same thing. Like my first experience was, if you've ever heard of the Captain's auctions for like pinball and arcade stuff. Okay, well that's based in Southern California. So I went with a buddy because it was going to be a Batman pinball, Batman 89 Data East, and I wanted one.
You went for one game?
Yeah, I was like, this is the thing. I'm going to go. And, we were there and it's like towards the end. And then it went for a crazy number. And like, we were just there for like 14 hours or something stupid.
Yeah.
Like what, but I learned a lot. Like I learned like how to like buy soda machines and crane machines and like get a route. Like, I'm like, oh man, I could be one of these guys who like, starts a laundromat or, like one of these route gigs where you just put crane games everywhere and steal people's money. Yeah, I'm like, oh, I've learned to do this now in the 14 hours I've been sitting here, because that's like what half the people are. And they're like in for that kind of stuff. So you just talk to random people and they teach you. But yeah, 14 hours later, I came home with no Batman. And then it dawned on me. I'm like, there's this Batman that I was like a 5-hour drive away that I was in pretty good condition, but I didn't know if I wanted to make the drive. So it's actually it was quicker for me to agree with the guy on a price, pay him, drive there, pick it up and drive home. That only took 11 hours as opposed to the 14 hours I was there for the auction.
But you never know. You might have saw something at the auction and been like, wow, that's coming home with me.
Oh, what I did a few times is things I knew I was never going to win. I just bid on them to bid them up. I'm like, I'm here. I might as well do something. I'm like, oh, this guy's going hard at that Twilight Zone. Yeah. Let's put another 500 on that. Sure. Why not?
I had a guy, when I bought my Grand Prix, man, it's hard to say just because prices on everything has gone up. This was, I don't know, close to 10 years ago, probably a little less. The guy thought he was bidding on the game next to it, and it went for like $400 for a kind of broken Grand Prix. And at the time, man, this thing should have gone for like $50. And I was so mad, and he's like, oh, I'll sell it to you for what I paid. Because he didn't want it. He didn't even want to take it home. He gave me maybe $25 off. Because technically I bid him up to 400, even though it wasn't worth that. But I was young and had my job money and I had no responsibility. So I'm just like, fuck, $400 for a pinball machine. Let's buy it. Fucking asshole bidding on the wrong game. Anyway.
That's real dumb.
Yeah, I think I've told some arcade auction stories. I bid on a silent scope. I won a silent scope for $200, and the guy was like, "Are you stupid? Why the other one over there went for $125?" And it's a lot of these guys most of these auctions are for real arcade, actual people are going to put these things on route, not fucking collectors. I just have to say, yo, man, I came to spend literally the entire day here. And I didn't win the first silent scope. Yeah, I think I'm going to pay an extra $75 so I don't have to wait another month or two for the next auction and then spend another day to get one.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And just to clarify, all those items I was bidding up, if I would have won, I would have paid. And it was in the middle of the bidding. It wasn't anywhere like the end. I was hoping that the Twilight Zone would go low. It did not. I think back then it sold for $6,000 or something dumb.
Jeez, yeah.
And that was years ago.
It's a cool game. You should get
a cool
one.
Game. Dude, I saw a house that I was I keep looking at these houses in Minnesota because we're considering buying out there and maybe moving in a couple of years. But anyways, there was this house and it had a basement. It had this alcove in it. And the guy was like, we can't take these with us. And it had 3 pinball machines in there. And it was Indiana Jones, Twilight Zone. And yeah, Indiana Jones isn't great, the wide body. Twilight Zone and Elvira.
So good.
And
Stop it.
I was just like, are you kidding me right now? These 3? 2 of these are 2 of my favorite pins. And then the other one is at least a property I love. And people can fight me on Indiana Jones, but it's not great. So.
The path of adventure isn't great. The rest of the game is great. Anyway, no one knows about pinball stuff, Johnny.
We haven't talked about pinball in a long time.
I know.
We touched on it for 10 minutes. We can now move
on. I think I want to see what Whatnot turns into. I mean, is it convenient to sell? It seems like maybe less of a hassle than actually typing up listings and putting things on eBay. And people seem to be basically getting eBay prices. It's just, in addition to just, turning on your camera and taking your stack of shit to sell, you then also have to, I guess, promote when you're actually going to be streaming, which I don't know how that works. If I could just literally say hey, if it's 10 a.m., I could just say, hey, at 5 p.m., I'm turning on the camera, and magically a bunch of people are going to show up and buy my garbage, I'm in. I'll do whatnot if that's the case. But if I have to work myself to find an audience, it's fuck it. It's easier to just put this all on eBay.
Yeah. So I think it's, I think it's really good for sellers, especially people who are out there on the hustle, I think it's good for them. I think they'll do well. I did consider, because I have all my extra stuff that I offered to our Patreons first. I was like, man, should I just stream a Whatnot only for our Patreons and then just move it that way. Cause I'm like, I don't know how to price this. And then they could just bid and then whatever's fair. It would be like such a small group. Everything would go really low. So I thought about that.
I don't even know how you'd set that up, Johnny, but
I would just tell our Patreons I'm doing it on this day. And then,
I'm pretty sure you have to like get approved or something. You can't just like turn on the camera.
I'm sure
I haven't
I
looked
could
into
get
it too
approved.
much.
I know. Look,
but then other people would show up.
The caliber of people who are on there aren't people that I'm like, man, these are like super reputable people. I'm like, I'm sure I could find a way to get them to give me the thumbs up and be like, yeah, you could do this guy. So I'm not really worried about that.
I guess if you haven't dipped your toe into the whatnot, you could download it. And Josh Hamblin of SideQuest Games, he's auctioning off an entire NES set, loose set, one game at a time. No, so I thought that too. I'm like, oh, okay, it's gonna be a thing, but no, because there's 700 games. He would literally be there for like 3 days straight, just because live auctions like that take a little bit. So it's broken up into 11 auctions that are happening on Saturdays and Wednesdays, I think, alphabetically. So I think like Little Samson is going to be in mid-March, and like I think Stadium Events is going to be a little bit after that, if those are the games you're looking at.
Oh, you mean that Stadium event? That's an honor and a privilege for him to be able to sell?
Probably. No, wait, was that a Nintendo World Championships that he was talking about?
I don't know. I just like one of the things he like was he was telling everybody what an honor and a privilege it was for him to be able to sell it. And I threw up a lot in my mouth, not a little, like a whole lot, and just like wanted. Then I like started to choke on it, and I was like, "That's fine. That's better than reading that ever again."
Also, another fascinating part about I just joined these NES auctions to see like what's going on with prices, because I figure literally if you have like 14 holes in your NES set and someone is auctioning literally every game and you have the chance to buy them all for quote unquote market value, like that is perfect. So all of these are going to go to collectors who want them for quote unquote market value. And I'm just like looking, I'm like, wow, okay. Race America is a $114 game now. Okay.
What?
Yeah, there was. I don't think there's a Race America on eBay right now.
Wait, is he not doing this in alphabetical order?
Oh, no, see, another hidden gem that I learned. The real name of Race America it has like a player name and like an apostrophe S.
Oh, okay.
I can't even say. It's Alex DeMio's Race America. It is the smallest text on planet Earth.
Oh, well.
I guess like
all did your lists are bad. Everybody fix your fucking list.
Did they get his sponsorship and they're like, he didn't have a good year.
He's an
Activision programmer. He's not a race car driver.
Excellent.
Oh my God. Man, shout out to Alex DeMio. Man, him and Gary Kitchen, only programmers with NES games that have their names in it. It's pretty impressive.
Are those the only two?
I don't know.
There's not like a Sid game in there anywhere?
Oh, Sid Meier's Pirate. Damn. All right, Johnny, new set. Programmers who have their names on their own games. Like American McGee's Alice.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's a good set. I like that set.
We'll do a whole episode.
All right, yeah, we've got to stop giving away the good stuff. This would have been the awesome hidden gem, though. Alex DeMio.
Yeah.
Alex DeMio's Race America.
I mean,
anyway, everyone go fix your lists.
Yeah. Like we'll create the programmer list and we'll do a sweet episode on it.
You think there was a regular Race America and an Alex DeMio's Race America, like some kind of special edition, Johnny?
Yep. I think it would be pretty special if we could move on to the next part of the show.
Whoa, that would be some kind of collector's limited.
Okay. Anyways, we're moving on to the other part of the show now that we're done babbling at each other, where we talk about what this episode is. Tyler, we're doing an episode on the kind of the history of special editions, early special editions. So why don't you give us and our audience the parameters that you've set up here?
Johnny, I wanted to find the first special edition video game, just out of my own curiosity one day. You know, you start Googling first collector's edition game, first limited edition game. You start going through the conversations, you start going through the websites. And I very quickly realized that no one has ever actually put a lot of research into this. And I'm not saying we have the best research in the world. I think we've compiled enough sources and done enough of our own research that our list for like the early stuff is better than the other lists that are out there. But for whatever reason, this isn't something that people have looked into. So I wanted to do an episode on early, limited, collectors, and special edition games, Johnny.
Okay.
Specifically games that have like two distinct versions. You could buy the poor people version or you could get the limited edition version. And there's a lot of gray area. We're throwing out contest cartridges, competition cartridges, big boxes, accessory bundles, gift sets, stuff with weird limited distribution. Maybe we're going to talk about some of that. There's a lot of gray area with this. But
yeah, we're also throwing out accessory bundles. So if it came packed with a gun or anything like that or a controller, that's not a special edition.
If it says collector's edition, limited edition, or special edition on the box, that's the stuff I want to talk about, especially the early stuff. So,
yeah, I mean, and most special edition stuff, I mean, it was kind of actually pretty well defined. I know you were reading it off of, I think, Wikipedia, but basically, junk that doesn't affect the game at all. Collector's stuff, just tchotchkes and art books and nothing to do with the game. It doesn't enhance the game or change the game in any way, shape, or form or help you play it. It's just bullshit to make you feel better about spending some more money.
So I want to give some benchmarks here. Wikipedia's has an article. It's a huge list of limited and collector's edition video games. It's probably it's got to be among the worst Wikipedia articles. Not in terms of content. The content seems fine. It has a huge list of like random collector's editions. Half of it is an alphabetical list, and then they gave up on that, and then at the bottom of the article, they started listing all them by console rather than alphabetically, and I don't know if there's duplication or whatever. It seems like just a work in progress that's been going on for years. And like they have dates for all the games from A through C, and then halfway through C, they just stop doing dates, and then from D on, there's no date. It's a fucking mess. Anyway, the earliest game on that list, I'm pretty sure, is Sonic Adventure Limited Edition from 1999.
Oh, that's pretty early. Wait, no.
So, out of all the public editors on Wikipedia, that's the first one they could come up with. Collectorsedition.org, a website specifically that tracks collector's editions. If you sort their database by date, the first one that comes up is Myst Desktop Edition, which they have listed as 1993 because that's when Myst came out. The Myst Desktop Edition came out in 1998. I'd say both of those dates are pretty... So finding a special edition before 1993 is pretty hard. That's kind of when they first started, and then towards the late 90s, especially with things like Zelda Ocarina of Time Collector's Edition and the PlayStation Collector's Editions, that's when we really started seeing that becoming more of a common thing. So I spent a lot of my time looking for stuff that came before 1993, and Johnny, there isn't a lot.
No, there sure isn't. I do want to also throw out just like another caveat on because people are going to be like, what about this? Like, an example we'll just use real quick. Gauntlet for the N64 with the pewter figure. That does not anywhere list on it that it's a collector's edition or special edition. It's just a thing that they added to the game. Yes, by the definitions of like, doesn't add anything to the game. Yeah, but the box doesn't call it that. And we're looking very specifically where the box tells you this is a collector's edition. Same with like the Micro Machines. Same with like, Rampage. All this stuff, those aren't like retailer variants, aren't necessarily collector's edition. It has to say collector's edition or special edition on the box. That was that's the key here. So if you're like, what about this thing? Check the box. If it doesn't say it, then we weren't considering it. Also, this is not a complete list. This is us doing a brief look in and giving you an idea of what the special editions are. So it is no way a holistic list, even though I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Like once you get to the mid 90s, there's so much weird stuff on the edge, and Japan is like its whole different world. We'll talk about it.
I mean, and PAL, and we do look at a lot of that, and then computer stuff. Like it's just the world is a big place, and the 90s and mid 90s aren't well represented on the internet. So we're doing the best we can.
I feel, man, John, there should be like a book on this stuff. Like someone should have tracked this. I know there's collectorsedition.org. And like there's some of these sites that like track collector's editions, but they're more interested in keeping up with collector's editions going forward, which, man, what a challenge. How could anyone even think about doing that at this point in time? But man, someone needs to just like research all this garbage from the 80s that no one cares about and just like go over the history of like, does anyone care? No one cares. What are we talking about? Johnny, we're starting with the 1970s, 1978, maybe?
Yeah, 78. That's Superman.
Superman. Did that come out in 78 or did that come out in 79?
I thought it was 78.
All right. I'm not going to look it up. I know that Casino or Backgammon, one of these came out in 78. And then Basic Programming. Johnny, there is a set of weird Atari 2600 games that have this black special edition banner in the bottom right corner for no reason. It means absolutely nothing. It did not come with any special thing. They're not good games. Basic Programming and Backgammon, these are not special editions. It's almost like, shit, Tom over here just made a Backgammon game. How the fuck are we going to sell that? I don't put special edition on it. Got it. That's all.
A correction. Superman is 79. I just double checked. Sorry.
Okay.
But Backgammon special edition. Now you said it doesn't change anything, but that seems crazy, Tyler. Think about it for a minute and just tell me what's special about it.
So, if you really want to be technical, I don't think this was intentional. Those are the first releases of those games because I think they were all released later and they didn't have the special edition badge anymore. But it doesn't mean anything. And maybe, like, I want to say there's a world where they're like, oh, these are the first editions for collectors. They're the special editions. One, no one's going to want to collect Backgammon and Casino. And two, like, video games barely even exist in 1978. The concept of them being collectible is the most insane shit on planet Earth. So I think it was just a marketing gimmick.
Especially with like Basic Programming and like Superman, you're like, okay, well, Superman's a thing. And like, okay, like my brain that's attached to the modern world. I'm like, yeah, I can see why Superman, but then you start to like try to justify Backgammon or Basic Programming and it all falls off a cliff for me. I cannot do it.
Like Superman has its own thing going on because it also came with the wallet. So if you don't know, Superman, the first game to ever have a pack-in, it was packed in. The first versions of the game, as far as I know, were packed in with this like shitty little wallet. And the wallet like wasn't even exclusive to Atari. There were other ways you could get the wallet. But the first version in the bottom right, it actually covers the part that says special edition. It says like inside or strapped to the back of the box, there's a wallet. But then it was also re-released as the special edition without the wallet. So just having special edition doesn't mean that's the version that came with the wallet.
Which is crazy.
This sucks. I wanted to like find like some great special edition, like, oh man, some computer game from 1980 included a collector's coin or something. No, it's just a marketing gimmick from Atari. It's the first special edition.
We got these a pile of these wallets in this Superman. You think we could maybe bundle these together and get them out of here? Like,
like we already bought the Superman license. Shouldn't that be enough to sell the game? Man, Superman must have been a big game.
Yeah, I mean, wow. Think about like the power of Superman back then. Like Superman carried a lot more weight back then. So anyway.
Well, Zack Snyder hadn't got his hands on it yet.
I mean, some people like Snyderverse. You want to fight those guys? I'm not interested.
I really enjoy the Watchmen movie, Johnny.
I really enjoy the Watchmen movie too. People are like, it's too frame by frame. I'm like, that's what I liked about it.
But I mean,
but it's
the
not.
Ending's all weird and not the same. But anyway.
No, well, I mean, the ending of Watchmen is weird in the comic, and it's weird in the movie.
I don't even remember. How does the movie end? I don't even remember how the movie ends.
It
doesn't end with squid monsters or whatever.
It does not end with the giant fucking squid. That is for sure. And there's a bunch of special editions of it, which I love that they did, like so many special editions.
Special editions?
Yeah. and like or director's cuts, and then added like the Black Freighter and stuff. And it was super cool. Loved all that.
That was when Blu-rays first came out, because I remember like this is so cool. The Black Freighter part is just added into the Watchmen movie, and then I watched like the motion comic. We could buy like the entire Watchmen motion comic on DVD or something, or Blu-ray. Yeah. Man, physical media used to be cool, Johnny. And now I'd see that on Netflix. I'm like, I'm not going to watch an entire comic book. What are you, crazy?
Yeah. No, thanks. Pass. Nice effort, though. Anyways, so these are the dumbest of all special editions because there's nothing to compare it against that makes it special. It's ridiculous.
Let's talk prices. The prices are whatever the fuck these games go for, because there's no difference. I think Superman's expensive now just because it's Superman.
It's like 40.
That's like a 70. Oh, 40? Really?
40. Okay. Like you can find it for as low as 40 to as high. I mean, I saw one for 29, but it was beat to shit. Or, as high as like 115, especially if you get the one that mentions the wallet on it. Like even without the wallet, even if you get the one with the wallet sticker, that one's going to cost you more.
Yeah, that one has definitely gone for hundreds of dollars. Yeah. Because I've tried to get one, and I just, after seeing the prices lately, I'm just like, you know what? I don't need the Superman wallet that bad.
I mean, one with the wallet went for, you saw one sell with the wallet?
Yeah. This is within the past like couple years, but I mean, maybe it was like $300 to $500. Am I remembering? Was it thousands? Like, I don't even remember. Like, video games could sell for like $1,500, and I'd be like, oh, there's another game. It's not like shocking anymore.
Yeah. Is there a Superman black box?
Shut up, Johnny. I'm pretty sure there is, yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's definitely rare. If you talk to someone like Josh Byerly, they'll be like, oh, this Atari Superman is bullshit. Get the real version. Get the telegames.
Yeah. You mean black box. Don't fuck it up. Don't talk about Sears telegames. Let's talk about the Black Box edition, which is the real special version of this game.
It is the blue box. Actually, the real special edition, if you really want to get into it, the picture label of Superman on Atari is the rare one. I forgot, what is it? There's one that has red text and one that has yellow text. Is it the telegames? Yeah, it's the telegames. The Sears telegames with the yellow Superman text is the rarest Superman game. It's like one of the grails of Atari.
There's a yellow telegames one on eBay right now. Just the manual and the cart. It's already at $16.
16?
16. Yeah.
Am I all right? Hold on. Am I misremembering this?
I mean,
this is bids right now.
This is bids. It's the only one listed like this. Nope, there's one.
No, that one. That's not the picture label. So this is the text label. The one with the picture label is the super rare one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's weird that there's a non-telegames picture label there and a non-telegames text label, and then the telegames picture label and the telegames text label as well.
Yeah, Atari variants are a nightmare. What a surprise.
Yeah. Oh,
we started from the get-go just with no consistency to anything.
Yeah.
There's like, we need to spin up another 10,000 games. Let me make a new label real quick.
Yeah. Well, what? Are you sure you want to do that? Yeah, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
All right, let's stop talking about Atari now that we've lost all our listeners, Johnny.
Yeah.
And move on to a real special edition game if you want to tell me what the first real special edition, not just some marketing gimmick.
Oh, the first real one? You mean like Power Strike? Definitely not a marketing gimmick. Doesn't resemble the Atari games in any way, shape, or form, right? So Power Strike is for the the Sega Master System. But it was a mail order, and it says it's a special edition. It's described that, but it's the only version of the game, at least in America. And the box is like, it's not black and white, but it's like blue and white, because
it's so special Sega. They didn't even want to pay for color printing for the insert.
It's super boring looking, and Power Strike is like a pretty well regarded game, and it's hard to get, and it's kind of rare. And they did it dirty, but they called it a special edition to, I don't know, make you more interested in their shitty mail order game. Not that the game is bad particularly, but a shitty process, I should say.
Yeah, I just saw a picture of all the different versions of Power Strike from around the world, and
all better.
Like they all got a color box except for us with our special edition. To be clear, how this is a special edition, I'm looking right now. I swear on the little like the mail away thing that you pre-ordered it from, it called it a special edition.
Yeah.
But on the back of the Power Strike box, if you read it, it says like presenting Sega's first special edition game. And I saw that. I'm like, oh, this is going in the episode. It's Sega's first special edition game.
First one. Hooray.
Yeah, Power Strike. It's rare. What's it worth? It's like a $300 game for complete box.
At least.
Every time I say prices on the show now, I'm completely going off the dome with no regard for anything because I don't know how anything works anymore.
You know what's a shame is that we didn't get Power Strike 2, which we should. Also a very rare Master System game. Like it's also part of the LS series, right? That's like its big claim. Hey, $315. Yeah, you got it. It's like around $300. You did it, Tyler. You nailed the pricing on that.
I'm on the game value now. It looks closer to 200.
You're looking at I'm looking at open auctions that are.
All right.
Yeah,
that seems more reputable. Sure.
Here, sold by Joan Bone, $270. December 30th, another one sold for $290. Here's one that sold for $500. Here's one that sold for $124, but it's European, so that doesn't count. Yeah.
Okay. So hold on. Since you brought up Joan Bone, and he sold one for $270, I want to talk about the Joan Bone bump real quick, Johnny.
Okay.
I am looking for Warcraft Battle Chest. I'm going to sort by highest price because this didn't happen that long ago. Joan Bone sold a week ago a Warcraft 2 Battle Chest for $1,050. Sealed. It's the Warcraft 2 Battle Chest. Also, I don't think it's the first edition of the Battle Chest. Not that anyone cares. If you don't know, like, once Warcraft 2 was getting a little long in the tooth, Blizzard did this a lot. They bundled in Warcraft 1 with it and sold it as a budget pack. So you'd like see this in Walmart. You would see the Diablo 2 Battle Chest in Walmart for years after Diablo 2 was relevant. So it is crazy to see one of these budget packs sell for $1,000.
That is pretty crazy. To take us back to Power Strike, there was one that sold this year for $188. But Joan Bone gets a bump also because he's a collector and a reputable seller online. Like when you look at, people go back when they save a seller that like,
oh yeah,
that's repeat business and quality of shipping.
He upgrades a lot and sells like his undercopies, but his undercopies they were like already in his collection, so they were like good copies of the game. So I'm always trying to get like I missed a Resident Evil long box. That's a game I want. He had one for $100, and he was like, "Oh,
I messaged you about it."
He's like, "Oh, it's in very good condition," which on the condition scale is pretty low. But looking at him, like, sure looks acceptable for me. I'm kind of poor.
Yeah, I messaged you, but. To make you feel better, it was missing the manual.
Oh, all right. I would have got a manual for it. There's probably a loose manual.
I looked a ton. Because he told me he was going to sell it, and I think I have an extra manual for it. And I looked all over for my manual because I was going to buy it for you and send it to you as a gift. And then I couldn't find the manual. And I was like, Tyler's so picky. He doesn't want to get shit without the manual now. And I don't want to just send him that. So I did not.
All right. I'll get it. You know what, Johnny? Turns out Resident Evil is not a rare game. I will get one eventually.
You mean it's one of the most popular games on the PlayStation 1 ever?
That's true. But you know what? Really hard to find the long box sealed, and I don't want it sealed. So everyone sealed will go collect something else, I guess.
Yeah. Can you maybe move us on and tell me about some real special editions? Take me to that place that only Tyler can go. I call that place Japan, and those games Famicom. So tell me more about them.
No, Johnny. I just got a new book about like Famicom collector's editions. I don't even know what this book is called. It's on Amazon, but it's all in Japanese. I don't even remember the name of it. It's just on like limited edition Famicom games. But I wouldn't call any of these limited editions. So a lot in Japan, a lot of this stuff is called not for sale, which just means there was some special way of getting it. And I don't want to count things that you got from like a contest or a magazine giveaway. And that's a lot of this junk. There is one I will bring up as an example. It's Chojin Ultra Yakyu Baseball limited edition. It has a little star flash on the box that does call it a limited edition, and it comes with a phone card, Johnny. That's 1989. Oof. So the only reason I brought this up is because that is technically the earliest thing that I found called a limited edition that comes with something special. It comes with a phone card.
Okay.
This list has been in our episode doc for, I don't know, like a year maybe. I've been casually adding to this list as time goes on. And I've looked for that game a few times and it hasn't been on Yahoo. So I think it is pretty rare if you want a stupid baseball game that you're probably going to spend like $100 on.
Woo.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Man, the early part of this list is not very exciting.
No, the 70s to the 90s, pretty piss poor. It's like video games didn't know that they needed to like change their marketing to make people just buy shit they didn't need.
Do you think they figured that out now, Johnny?
Can
you think of any companies that maybe have taken advantage of that situation?
Special Reserve, limited run games, Strictly Limited. I don't know. This is just a few. Also Capcom, Nintendo, Konami. Yeah, all of them.
Man, you know what? This is why this is the most collectible stuff, because if it says collector's edition on it, it's a bullshit collectible.
Not collectible.
Let me talk about something I am excited about, Johnny, that I've already brought up on the show. I'm excited because I serendipitously found this. That baseball game on Famicom was 1989. And I've been asking people, I've been begging people to send me collector's edition stuff, limited edition stuff you could find before 1990, because there's so few games that identify themselves as that. But 1990, Johnny, if you pre-ordered Ultima 6 directly from Origin Systems, they would send you a copy of the game that was signed on the box by Lord British and Dennis Lobet. Dennis Lobet, we're going to say it French-like. Inside the box, it came with a 45-minute audio tape of just Richard Garriott talking about the history of Ultima. Most importantly, Johnny, it comes with a little letter inside the box that said something like, "You are holding the special edition of Ultima 6. And I'm like, yeah, whoa! 1990, this game just called itself a special edition. It's literally hand-signed by the guy who made the Ultima series. It comes with a special Feely cassette. This is a fucking special edition. I was so excited when I found out that Ultima 6 came out in 1990.
Do you want a high five real quick, or?
Yeah!
Yeah!
Oh, love it!
Did it! That's, we high-fived. That was me. I did it for us.
It's hard. I guess I've been buying games so long. It's hard for me to think of a time when like there wouldn't be like some special fancy version of a game. So, you know, you just figure like you go back, big box PC games. Of course there would have to be like special editions and variants and stuff like that. But there's just not a lot. Ultima 6 seems like the first one. There's probably something earlier. Please refute me. Send me something earlier, guys.
Yeah, please. If you know more special editions or collector's editions, but they have to be called those things specifically on the box, please tell us. Man, there's a one on the list I can't wait to get to, but it's not till 1994. But there was another special edition, and this one, you see this on like some of the bigger like European collector sites or collectors, like their Instagrams. And it's pretty cool, and it's the Lucky Dime Caper limited edition. And it's probably the first one we're actually seeing where like limited editions are starting to figure out that they should put a bunch of bullshit in the box. So this one, it comes with the game, and it comes with a cassette. Are you excited about the cassette?
I mean, I'm excited about the Ultima cassette. This one comes in a much
big
nicer box, though. This is such a good box.
It comes with a shirt. Don't forget the shirt.
I just want to say it's a black box with a black embossed Sega logo, so it's black on black, which just immediately makes something look like the classiest shit in the world.
Oh, yeah. And
that's how Analog does their boxes. Like, oh man, does that look high quality.
It's got like nice art on the spine. It's got one of those fancy pull tabs for you to open the box. Like, you look at this thing and like, it looks premium. You're like, yeah, I'm doing it. The game comes in like a little box. Like, It says not to be sold separately on it. It's got some posters in there. The tape is music, guys. I just want to let you know that it's music. So don't get too excited. It's like all perfectly packed in this like little box too. It's so good.
Did you say what game this is?
Lucky Dime Caper. Donald Duck's Lucky Dime Caper. So
Donald Duck Lucky Dime Caper. Yeah. Before I looked into like the kind of bullshit that came before this was always in my mind like the first limited edition. It just seems like such a strange game to get such an extravagant release. I've never played it though, so I don't know. Maybe it deserves it.
Maybe, but yeah, it's the box really, sure is sweet.
Really fancy.
It is fancy.
Oh man,
it's expensive too and hard to find. So if you're really after that one, have a good time searching for it.
I'm just on some random blog. Someone from 2014 said the last one sold for 487 pounds. So let's say 2014 pounds. What is that, like $700, something, maybe even more?
It was that, I think, I don't know. I want to say it was like the euro or the pound was stronger then. So it might have been like 1.5 to a dollar, maybe a little more.
All right. So let's say it was $750 or something. In 2014, like a video game for $750 is like out of control insanity. So that's how long this game's been collected.
Oh, for. The exchange rate, the average exchange rate, that was 1.65. So,
woo.
Yep.
Just ignore that. When you're buying from the UK, just pretend it's 1-to-1. Makes it easier to buy stuff.
Yeah, you just don't do that. You will feel sad pretty quickly after doing that. Okay, what else is on our list? We got a lot of stuff.
All right, that was 1991. So going into 1993, we start to see...
You forgot 1992. There had to be... No? Never mind.
I got nothing.
All right.
Like 1993, we start seeing like the first, like beyond this really obscure European Lucky Dime Caper thing, we got the 7th Guest Special Edition for PC. This was another one. I saw a forum. It was on one of these collector's sites, like people who just collect special editions. And they had decided that this was the first real special edition. The 7th Guest is a, what do you call it? Like a real motion video adventure game. And it was a huge deal at the time because just like the technology, this game is like one of those Dragon Lair moments like, whoa, the game is real.
I mean, poors like me who didn't have computers knew about 7th Guest and like played it or saw it. So like that's what it is.
I'm not going to say it obviously wasn't as popular as Myst, but it's one of those games that was just fucking everywhere and it was on shelves forever. And if you go on like, if you just typed in PC big box in eBay, like 1 in every 25th game would be a copy of the 7th Guest.
Yeah.
But the special edition came in a book-shaped box. We've talked about this on the show before.
And I love
it. Literally looks like a hardcover book. And it comes with like a making of VHS tape. And the VHS, I think it says this on the box too, the VHS calls it the special edition video making the game. And the VHS of this VHS comes with a lot of other copies of 7th Guest that come in big boxes. So maybe every version of the 7th Guest big box is a special edition if you think about it. I mean, the VHS should be the most important part of the game because it's 2022.
Yeah, I bet that's getting a big bump if you're finding those sealed now, right? How long before high-end VHS markets get a hold of that and turn it into something that looks like cancer on Instagram?
I bet it would not be hard right now to go find a sealed 7th Guest VHS. I mean, and also, I
speculators, spec market, get out there, buy it, make that money. Just saying.
I think this is pretty rare. I think I've looked for one a couple times and I've never found one. And I know a couple European collectors who have these, which makes me wonder if it only came out in Europe. Moby Games says that this specific version came out in both the US and the UK. I've never seen one. Anyway.
I haven't seen it either, and it's been on my list forever.
And you got that other cool 7th Guest thing, though. The double pack with what, the 11th hour?
Yep.
Oh, it's so cool. Yeah, 2 big boxes together, man. That is a really big box.
Yep. Super, super fat. It's nice. Love it.
All right, why don't you talk about your fake one that's coming? Oh wait, no, I put this is stupid. So Myst, the OEM version. So in 1993, Myst came out, and there are computers where if you bought the computer, you would just get Myst because they wanted to make sure everybody who lived through the 90s owned a copy of Myst in some form. So certain computers that came with Myst it was called like Myst Special Edition, but all that meant was like it was a free version that came with your computer. So it wasn't very special, but I thought I'd throw that in there.
Oh, well. Thanks for talking about that non-special.
It says it's a special edition. It's literally like $5. It's completely worthless. Go get one. Early special edition, very collectible.
Man, are you ready? Are you ready for me to tell you about this? Because I don't even have good information on it.
I'm ready.
Man, I should have looked a little harder. But there's actually, like, I don't actually think this is a special edition. I'm just bringing it up because I don't know where else to put it, and I wanted to just throw it out there because there's not a lot on this. It's a stupid plastic box that holds Illusion of Gaia and also a shirt. That's it.
Great.
There's not. I think it was it a Nintendo Power promo? Like you could buy it from them. So yeah, it's in like this plastic clamshell that it's like one of those terrible ones that you have to like almost destroy to open. I mean, it's got some tabs, but it's the worst. I don't think this is a special edition. What do you think?
I'm going to say no. It's just a pack-in bundle type deal.
So you know what? It was not a Nintendo Power thing.
If it was meant for collectors, the packaging wouldn't be such dog shit. So no, it's not a collector's edition.
Yeah, so it says bonus. It's a bonus item. So yeah, take it off the list. It's not on there. And I'm just checking because Rare Bucky has one for sale with a receipt from Target. So wasn't a Nintendo Power thing. So there you
What's
go.
the price?
He's got it for $1,500.
No, it's not bad.
Nope, comes
It's
with the
definitely
receipt
a new shirt.
too. Yeah, it was bought for $17.50.
Great.
Yeah.
Good return on investment.
Yeah, good ROI.
Talk about your other 16-bit bullshit, Johnny.
Okay, so here's another one. But this one, let's make the call on this. And what do you guys think? So the X-Men for the Genesis has two versions. I mean, it's probably got more than that if you're getting into the minutia, but two really blatant cover variants. One that's just an X-Men game, and the other one, which comes and states like over the art and looks horrible with this giant blue bubble, but it says special edition poster included. So that makes it a special edition to me. It's like this poster is a special edition. Now this game is the special edition because only this version has this poster.
Okay, so does the poster being special edition make the game special edition?
Well,
I don't know. Are we taking the special
items,
edition properties of an interior object and putting it to the exterior object here? Does that work?
Usually the items are what make it a special edition. We just talked about how backgammon and basic computer program don't have anything, therefore they're not a special edition. This thing has something that calls itself a special edition. So I'm saying yes. The transient property of special posters does thusly imbue the X-Men with special mutant edition powers.
I'm going to need a mathematician to make a ruling on it. Also, if you're not clear, this is basically the point where it becomes impossible to really make a distinction on if you really want to count something as a special edition. This X-Men variant that includes the special edition poster, which it does say special edition right there, is not going to show up on any list of special editions anywhere.
But it should.
But is it?
Yes. If you wanted the special edition poster, how would you get it? You'd have to buy this version of the game. This version is unique. You might even say it's special.
You're right, Johnny. It just comes in a regular clamshell box, though, to be clear. I mean, I don't think anyone was wondering.
It's actually the uglier version. It's the ugliest version of it. It's like that horrible bubble. You're just like, what were you thinking with this? Anyways.
Johnny, I think that the next three games we have coming up are all pretty exciting, and I will say important special editions in the grand scheme of video games becoming more of a collectible kind of thing.
I want to talk about number 12. So
all right. 1994. All three of these are from 1994. Wing Commander 3 Heart of the Tiger Premier Edition. This is another game when
this one's pretty cool, actually.
Absolutely, yes. When you Google first video game collector's edition, you will see this game pop up. Wing Commander 3. I'm guys, it's a Wing Commander game, which is a cinematic space game. Its claim to fame is that it has a ton of live action footage. It stars Mark Hamill. It's great for furries because there's a furry guy just like Spaceballs.
You're just bringing up furries all of a sudden in this episode? This is a kid's show, buddy.
The Premier Edition comes in a fake 35 millimeter film can, which is just, it's so cool because they're like, hey, this game is a fucking movie. And like that is a big selling feature of the game, which I think makes that really cool. Another thing I learned recently, because I'm really dumb, the film can is not the packaging. There's actually a thin, shitty box that goes over the film can. That's even harder to find.
There's one on eBay, but it's Japanese.
No, get that out of there. But inside the fake film can, it just comes with the game. It comes with a T-shirt. It comes with the making of thing. It comes with all the regular special edition tchotchkes. This reminds me of.
Did you tell him what's in the film case?
What's in the film case? What do you mean?
Isn't the VHS in the film case?
Oh, is it a VHS? I thought it was a CD-ROM. What are you talking about?
I thought it was
You're probably looking at one on eBay. Here, it's great research in the show. Let's.
Oh no, it is the CD-ROMs. There's a VHS that comes with it. All right, I went insane for a second. Forgive me.
What is there a VHS in there?
Thought so. Or maybe that's not a VHS. The interactive movie. No, it's a VHS.
No, interactive movie is what they call the game.
Oh, is that just the long? Oh, it's the making of. The making of.
Whoa, okay, you're looking at this Japanese thing. What's going on here? This comes with like a book. Did all this come with the American edition?
It says this is the Japanese edition, but this is like, all this is in English. This is all like, everything is set up as an English.
Comes with a calendar? Man, there's no way. Look at the size of that film can. There's no way a VHS is gonna fit in there with a 4-disc game and all this stuff.
It's CDs. I went insane. I flipped through too quickly.
Right, and anyway, look up the contents before you buy one.
We are talking about globally, so this is a fair thing to talk about, Tyler.
You're correct, Johnny. That's all I got to say about Wing Commander 3, though.
It's awesome. Like it's an awesome one. Like if you are into this, I don't know how much they go for right now, but it is pretty.
What do you got, Johnny? You got something everybody knows about and loves to collect.
Okay.
One of those games that everybody looks at a shelf and they're like, oh, they're one of those collectors because they got this game.
Okay, this is my favorite because it's got two. Okay, we're talking about Maximum Carnage. Okay, so it's a special edition. There's the QVC version, which just, if you've seen the box, you're like, well, where does it say it's a special edition, Johnny? If you open it up and you look at, there's a little tag that comes with it. It talks about being a special edition. It says like limited, like I'll get the exact wording. This certificate that this 1994 Maximum Carnage box set is part of a limited edition series of 5,000 created to meet the Marvel Comics high quality standards. It comes with some pins and it comes with a comic book and that little note, and the game, of course. And it comes in this like outrageous box, and that like you've seen on collector shelves. There's a Super Nintendo version and a Genesis version, and you're like, okay, cool, yeah, that's the special edition of Maximum Carnage. Until you realize that the Super Nintendo and the Genesis also have the red cart version, and it's got a little badge on it. 100% on the Super Nintendo one. It says special limited edition red cartridge.
Oh man, there's 2 levels here.
Yeah, cool, right?
All right. Is this the first multi-level limited edition, Johnny?
I think so. Yeah, this is them pumping it out. It's like, they're like, well, we can't just give this to the QVC people. We gotta get this out there for everybody.
So. Wow. Maybe this is another historic step forward in video game collector's edition bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, I like this a lot. I also like that it was sold from like a special retailer and they like limited the number and there was only one little way to get it. It reminds me of like the predecessor of limited run games. Thanks, QVC.
My absolute favorite part of this one is that, so it comes with that little card that says like, this is a special limited run of 5,000, and it's not clear if it's 5,000 Genesis and Super Nintendo or if it's 5,000 combined.
Yeah.
I think it's 5,000 combined because like the book is there too. They probably aren't going to like lie about the print run of the book. But anyway, what are these going for now? Like $1,000?
The last one sold for like 850 and
right.
always condition dependent. And yeah, I just want to confirm it does also, there's the Genesis version that says special limited edition red cartridge. It's got a little sticker on it. So it is on both. And I made a mistake with the X-Men. I said it's like a blue bubble, but it's a green bubble. Just FYI.
Okay. Is this missing the certificate of authenticity? No, it's there. All right. I mean, 850. The box is in a little bit rough shape. That doesn't seem as crazy considering how much games have gone up the past couple of years. I feel like
it seems like a deal.
Like still, it's right? Double what it used to be. So sure.
I mean, not really, because there was points where it was selling for like $700 a few years back when it was like a hotter item. Yeah, I don't know. Like for some reason, the market hasn't caught up on this one, which is crazy to me because this is like the exact kind of bullshit they should love. And it's like crossover between comics.
Right.
And like there's
and it's like, it's not even just Spider-Man. It's like very specifically a story that people love.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Actually, I don't know. Is Maximum Carnage? I don't know what
like
Carnage
people,
is.
I mean, there was...
See, I don't know anything.
There was a whole thing because there was like so many comics made. Like Maximum Carnage was a weird time in the Spider-Man books.
Okay. All right. See,
but people love Carnage. People love Carnage. They love Venom. And this was like... Also, what a great name. Maximum Carnage. Like, come on. Get with it.
Pretty good. I think the box is pretty cool and distinctive. Definitely one of those games like Earthbound. I look and I'm like, oh, you're one of those collector-y guys who has the collector games because you've got a Maximum Carnage sitting on your shelf.
Yep. Yeah, you can't go wrong.
Johnny, I'm going to talk about...
this is one of your favorites.
Definitely one of my favorites. This is another one. I kind of keep an eye out for this one when I'm looking at people's Genesis stuff. I'm like, oh, they got the Mario Lemieux.
Okay, question. Where does it tell me it's a special edition?
Oh, I took a picture of it. Okay, I took a picture of it because I thought that said special edition, but it didn't.
No, it's a special bonus. But talk to people what it is. Tell people what it is, and then we'll fight about it.
Mario Lemieux Hockey on Sega Genesis. It's a hockey game. I have no idea what it is because it's not NHLPA and it's not NHL 94. And those are the only hockey games I know. I know Mutant League Hockey too. There's too many fucking sports games on the Genesis. But
that's not actually true. It's like the numbers are pretty comparable to the Genesis. Genesis does have more, but it's not. The difference isn't as much as you think. Then you also have to weigh what you consider a sports game and what you don't. So,
Johnny, one can only play so many hockey games in their life and keep them straight, even if you played them all. Anyway, so it comes with the regular version of the game, and then it comes in a big box version of the game that comes with a hockey puck. And so the big box is this.
Which like also includes the regular box.
Yeah. It's got the regular box inside it, and then it's like one of these boxes that is made of like tissue paper cardboard, and there's a piece of cardboard that holds up a puck to the center of the box where there's a cutout. It's a little window, and you actually see and touch the puck inside. I think it's really cool, Johnny.
You think it's really cool? I think it's cool too, but are we calling it a special edition?
I'm calling it a special edition. This is very clearly like you could get the stupid version of the game or you could get the version of the game that comes with a puck. It's not coming with like a controller or an accessory. It's coming with just some bullshit for collectors.
It is. Like, I would call it that too, but we're not going to call other things that are in the exact same vein. Gauntlet with the pewter figure, same exact bullshit, but doesn't say. But this one does have the word special on it. So I'm like halfway there, but I think I'm going to rule in favor no.
Oh.
Like my confusing you like my confusing wording? I'm going to rule in favor no. Yeah.
By the rules of all the later stuff that does just come with some junk, fine. I still think it's worth mentioning because it is like still early 90s. There's not a lot of this stuff yet.
Well, and I think and there's a game we missed that's in this kind of same vein. More of an accessory, but not really. It's the Carmen Sandiego's. Where in the World and Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego for both the Genesis and the Super Nintendo. There's also the NES one, but the NES one is the only one. Apple II. Yeah.
Apple II.
I'm not going to talk about the Apple
PC.
II. I mean, if you wanted to talk about that, you should have been talking about it in 1989 when it came out. And it came with an almanac, what's the other one come with? One comes with the almanac, one comes with an encyclopedia. They are kind of needed to play the game, but they did sell editions without them. So
Are you really collecting a 1989 almanac or whatever?
Not really. So yeah, I'm just in the same vein as Mario Lemieux. I'm just mentioning them because both versions were out there. I believe they were sold independently on the Genesis and on the Super Nintendo, maybe on the Apple IIc as well. You'll have to look that one up. They came with this extra thing that you kind of needed. I would consider it more of an accessory, but anyways, I'm just talking about
Johnny,
it because they were like a big box.
If I was writing the article on what is a collector's edition, I would include all of this, and I would try to let the reader decide what they want to include. But yeah, by our rules, I'll say Mario Lemieux shouldn't count.
Mario Lemieux, and I also think that these don't count. But I wanted to mention them just like you want to mention Mario Lemieux. So I'm just bringing it back. All right. Here's another one that is
questionable. Wait, Johnny. I do want to mention 100 of the pucks were signed on the back.
Which is confusing because the front is signed.
The front has a fake signature, and the back, 100 of them supposedly have a real signature. Who was it? Like Cartmageddon? Someone said they had a signed puck, but they weren't sure if it was like one of these signed pucks. Someone I know, sure. I thought either knew of a puck or had a puck.
It's either Cartmageddon or like Video Game Collectaholic, right? Because these are the guys who
sure. The other thing, Johnny, this is kind of rare. I noticed when I went looking for prices, none on eBay, none in Souls. And it's always been kind of rare, but
it's always been kind of hard to find. The box is really flimsy. It's not well padded either. So like this puck comes in this little holder, but the box is like, it's just not weighted well. And the box has a cutout, so the center of it is easily collapsible. It's also big and cumbersome, so it's like going to get crushed.
And it has a cardboard hang tab, right?
Yeah. No, it doesn't have a hang tab.
It doesn't?
Does it? I don't think it does. God, if it does, that's the worst.
We're going back to the thing, Johnny. I'm not going to...
All right. You want to go look at yours? Do you want me to get up and go look at mine? It's 2 feet away.
All right, go get it.
Tyler is wrong. No hang tab.
God, we're cutting that all from the show then. I'm sorry.
All right. Moving on further down the list. Let's talk about this one, because this one is weird. And it's a PAL game, and it's
we could probably just skip it if it's a PAL game.
Oh yeah, let's never talk about PAL games. 1995's Batman Forever, the Woolworths Big Box. This is one of those ones, according to our rules, it's not a special edition, but it sure the hell looks like one. It is surely one of the predecessors of these. We also have to check, did you check the time frame on Echo when that one came out?
Yeah, no, I put that later. That one actually came out in 1997.
Okay, so there's a couple of these big boxes. The Woolworth edition, it's a lot like the Maximum Carnage box. It looks very similar to it. It's a little bit thicker, but it also was for Super Nintendo and also for the Sega Genesis, or Mega Drive, I should say, because it was in Europe. And it came with like a diary, a making of VHS, a sticker, and the game, and it's in this box. The box is actually pretty cool because it's nothing on it. They kept it super clean. It's just the Riddler, like the neon green Riddler question mark and the Batman logo, if you've seen from Batman Forever. The box looks pretty cool. That movie is garbage. Nope. At me and fight me if you think this is a good movie, or if you think Jim Carrey was good as the Riddler because you just happen to like Jim Carrey and Ace Ventura. But you're all wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong, and your opinion is so bad that you hurt my feelings. So you can at me, but I probably won't ever want to talk to you again. So just consider that.
This is the last year that it will be the best live action Riddler movie.
God, what a
well, you know, Batman 66 is probably a better movie, but I'm going to take Jim Carrey's Riddler over
no way.
whoever the other guy was.
No way. 66 Riddler, way better than Jim. I hate Jim Carrey as the Riddler so very much, but my feelings on Jim Carrey have been pretty well documented. So let's just move on. So anyways,
oh my God,
it's
Johnny, the Batman's coming out this year. We get to.
I know. So in like 2 months or like, I'm so happy. I've been waiting for so long. There's so many things finally happening. And I'm probably going to have to wait forever to go watch it because it probably won't stream it soon enough.
That's exactly the boat I'm in. I'm not going to a theater and
yeah, I'm not quite ready for that. Even though the mask restrictions in California have been lifted, I'm still like, now I'm like, I definitely don't want to be in a theater.
Even honestly, yet. Even beyond that, I'm just kind of done with theaters because the experience is just not as good as home for me.
Well, that's why I invested in a big TV and nice speakers and like blackout curtains because the price of going to theater. It's just like a shitty experience, like some kid kicking my seat. They can't shut up. Everybody's cell phone is on. So it's like, God, man, this is the worst. Anyways, this box is very cool. It feels like a special edition. According to our rules, it wouldn't come. You tell me what you think on this one.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not going to count it if we're not counting Mario Lemieux, but it would definitely make the book that we're going to write on video game collector's editions. Yes. Johnny, I don't know the price of it. I'm going to throw a number. I'm going to say $1,500. How do you feel about it?
I think
that is with no context, by the way. That's not even like old data.
I think one sold for like $500, but it sold for more than that before. It's a weird one. There's another one in the same vein as this, also not listed as a special edition, but sure feels like it. It's Phantom 2040, and it just talks about this garbage that it comes with. Go look up that one too. Also a rare big box. That one I think usually goes for like $1,200. So, anyways, go check it out. Also for the Mega Drive though. So a lot of people on this side of the ocean have not experienced it.
What's a Mega Drive? Jeez.
Yeah, it's the Genesis everywhere else in the world. But the beauty is if you collect the Genesis games, you've got the world set of Genesis games.
Well, do you? Because do you have Wonder Library? What is it called?
That's only if you think that the Sega CD is part of the Genesis library.
I mean, the 32X is part of the Genesis library, right?
I think so. It says Genesis on the side.
I hate it, Johnny. Stop it. We divide things up for a reason, to segment them.
Yeah, to keep our minds clean and not worrying about these things that are hard to get. Anyways, Tyler, what else do we got on this list?
Everything else from here on sucks.
No, this is the best part because I think this is like, these are the people who kind of really defined how special editions, like they basically archetyped and prototyped, architected and then prototyped the modern special editions, and that's Working Designs. So let's talk about them.
So, all right, Working Designs, Johnny. When I think Working Designs, all right, well, they made the Sega CD games, the Sega CD games, like Popful Mail and Shining Force 3, but they didn't do anything like super crazy with those. The crazy thing is that they went out and translated popular RPGs for American audiences, and that was good enough. Their fancy thing was like, check out our embossed cover on the manual of Popful Mail. But then PlayStation, when I think Working Designs,
and the 100 disc variants, don't forget that Lunar and the 7 variants on the Sega CD.
Oh God, what a nightmare! Yes, so Lunar does have disc variants specifically for collectors. Not going to call it collector's edition though.
Most of their stuff has disc variants. Not all, but most.
But when you get to the PlayStation era of Working Designs games, I'm thinking Lunar, Lunar 2,
Lunar
2
Complete.
Woo.
And it's the Arc.
What else do they
collection.
have? I mean, they have like some shooters. I don't think.
They have like Thunder Force, and they've got what's the one that comes in the box? The Ultimate.
It's like we should have planned this.
Yeah. No. The big case that comes with the case.
What, Assassin's Case?
Gear? Yeah, Elemental Gimmick Gear. No, that's not
nope. Wrong game. EGG. Elemental Gearbolt.
Thank you.
That was a giveaway though at conventions.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying that. I think Working Designs, didn't they do that as well?
Yeah, that was Working Designs game.
Yeah. So, anyways, like when you get to Lunar and they do this Lunar Complete, like the things that are in there, you've got disc variants, you've got a cloth map, you've got an art book. It comes in a big outer box. It's all stuck in there. And that's suddenly like, hey, this is what special editions look like. It's not called a special edition. It's called the complete edition.
It's not really called an edition because it's the only edition of the game on PlayStation. It's just called complete.
Yeah, it is called complete. So, but yeah, you look at this and then you think of like all the variants inside and the soundtrack and you're like, oh, this is it. This is what modern special editions are. And they kind of paved the way for that. Now things have deviated and they've got cheaper and worse since, but I think Working Designs like created a good level and then we've deteriorated since.
I mean, we've talked about this before. I love the Working Design stuff just because it's the same size as PlayStation. And like, Johnny, if I could make every game into a single format, a jewel case would be the perfect format. It would make my life so much easier if everything was just a jewel case. And and I'll take the special editions like Lunar, which are the size of what, 3 or 4 jewel cases, maybe?
Yeah, that's fine. Like you could have as many of those as you want because it doesn't take up that much space and like your shelves are going to fit still a ton of games anyways.
Yeah, and so I'm just looking at some of their other games. So they made Ray Crisis, Raystorm, Silhouette Mirage, included a Lunar 2 movie. I don't know if that was on another disc. Thunder Force 5. So really, Arc the Lad, Lunar, and Lunar 2 are the ones that came in the big boxes.
Yeah, the other ones just came with disc variants.
Yeah. But they're not collector's editions, Johnny. They were just games geared towards collectors.
So let's talk about the PS1 collector's editions, which are so much worse and dumber than these. So PlayStation 1 has this whole series of games that they call collector's editions. Okay, there's the Disney Collector's Edition Action, there's Disney Collector's Edition Kids, EA Collector's Edition Action, EA Collector's Edition Racing, EA Collector's Edition Sports, Eidos Collector's Edition, Grand Theft Auto compilation, Spyro Collector's Edition, and Tomb Raider Collector's Edition. And what do you think that these come with that make them special?
The packaging that's exclusive for collectors, Johnny.
Yeah, it's super ugly. It's like this white border instead of the black one. You know how to make a PlayStation game really ugly is change the border on the jewel case to any other color that isn't black, and it sure looks bad, especially that bright, awful greatest hits green. But yeah, these are not good either. And they're white and like black, and they don't come with anything. They just come with the slipcase that the 3 games go in, and they call them special editions, and they all have the unified look. But yeah, there's nothing else that comes with them. There's no stickers, no additional promotion. There's not even a demo disc. They're just collector's editions. It's more like collected editions of these games, not collector's editions. But who knows? I think they just picked the wrong word.
I think this is the closest, we discussed this right before the show, this is the closest that they've ever come to a company labeling their budget label collector's edition, which I think would have been hilarious. So if instead of like Nintendo Selects, if they called it collector's edition, I think that would be so funny. I think there would be people like arguing that they're cooler then. I think they should do that, honestly.
I mean, they did like the Fighter's Edge editions of games, which are cooler than the regular editions. But those aren't called collector's editions either. Yeah, I think you would definitely see people, if you call it a collector's edition rather than like greatest hits, or like clearly it's a budget label release, you would definitely get more people into it. Like, and all you need to do, like, just release it like it's your budget label, but just put like one thing, like a special coin or a card that comes with only that edition, and people would be going wild.
We're all about including coins and cards. We think coins and cards with video games are the future, Johnny.
Yeah, there's just nothing else. Also, it's like thin and easy to do. Like, I just try to think, like, coins are too expensive. I just think lowest common denominator for a company like, Sony and Nintendo. Like, what's cheap that we can just throw in there that costs 2 cents of material, but we can charge an extra $5 for? Oh, a card. Yeah, cool.
I don't think coins are too expensive. I remember getting like little shitty aluminum coins in boxes of cereal as a kid.
I'm just saying, compared to, well, I mean, if you do a collector's coin, you want it to be like one of those thicker, hevier, pewter-esque
Well, you want
ones.
it to be, but the Television Amico included like those shitty cereal box coins with their games.
Well, that the Amico itself is a budget label all into itself. So I'm not surprised. But yeah, I'm just saying cards are very cheap. Yeah, these coins are cheap. But if we're talking the cheapest you can go, like a baseball style card is the easiest, cheapest way to do it, and put some variants and foil it out. And boy, you're going to get those people like make like 5 different ones available, but you only get one. Oh shit. People are going crazy.
Johnny, I've got another idea. So you're right. Cards are probably the cheapest thing. I know what the second cheapest thing we could do to really scam these collectors. What if let's get rid of video game manuals for environmental reasons, obviously.
Okay.
And then we're going to take the video game manual and we're going to remove all the text from it. We're going to keep it the same size. It's going to be super small. It's going to be like, 25 pages, and we're going to call it an art book. And we're going to include it with our collector's editions as a promo.
Nice. Oh, hey.
Now that sounds premium to me.
That does sound premium. You know what I would pay more for? I would pay more for a collector's edition that is exactly the same as the other edition, except that the DVD case that it's coming in doesn't have a cutout of a recycling emblem on it. I would pay more for just the solid case and call that the special edition.
So hold on.
Special edition solid case.
That's not the recycling emblem, though. That is the plastic sorting emblem. All right, we're going to go off on environmental tangent here for a second, Johnny. Your plastic containers that have the little fake recycling logo on it, that's not the recycling logo. It's a logo that looks identical to the recycling logo. That means this can't be recycled, but if we figure it out in the future, this is a number 3.
Oh.
Excellent. So it's even more of a scam when it's on your video game case because you can't even recycle them.
That's okay. Collectors don't recycle anything. They hoard them. They turn their houses into human trash piles.
I wonder, I think there is some non-zero part of modern collecting that I don't want to collect it because of eco cases, Johnny. Nothing feels good. Everything feels like garbage.
It feels flimsy and cheap. And then the insert is getting like tears and holes in it because something touches it. It's awful. That's what I'm saying. I would pay more. And I know it's like, you can say it's worse for the environment, but if it's never going into a landfill because I'm a collector, then it's fine. That's what I'm saying. Tell me it's the special edition and charge me more. Please. Or just also.
If you're an environmentalist, you don't attack a third of my video game case. Just delete the game altogether, make it digital distribution.
Exactly.
But when you're giving me the physical game, give me the whole case, damn it.
Yes. Exactly. Or like, how much plastic did you waste by putting it on a CD? Like, come on, get out of here.
Johnny, do you like the PS1 collector's editions?
No, they're garbage. I have all of them, but they are terrible.
I think they're fine if you're like a PlayStation collector and you want all of them. Some of them are pretty hard to find, right?
They get a little difficult. There's other like bundled games that are much harder to find than these. There are also a couple of double packs that I didn't include in this list because they don't say collector's editions. But there's this other bundle of like super cheap weird games that are harder to find, but also worse games. Like this, at least you can get like the Tomb Raider and the Spyro and like the Disney ones and be like, hey, these are cool. But the EA ones are like pretty trashy. Grand Theft Auto one's a good one.
That one's like probably the most common one. I don't know what the most common one is.
Well, it's Grand Theft Auto. Does that's like a unique one because doesn't it have like the London?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the only way to get London 1979 or whatever?
I don't think so. No, that's not the first way. I thought that was something weird about it, but I'll have to reconsider what I just said there.
I think it's fine if you're collecting it as like, if you're a serious PlayStation collector, you're getting it as bonus stuff. But definitely, if you want Crash Bandicoot and it's too expensive, don't get the fucking collector's edition one and be like, well, this one's just as
well, yeah, and especially Crash Bandicoot. Those games are weird because there's 2 editions of those. There's the first print with the lenticular covers, not collector's editions. And then there's the regular ones that don't. And then like Spyro has foil on it and then doesn't have foil. So just careful on the editions you get on those. But the collector's edition, definitely the worst version to get.
You don't need to worry about with that because that's just garbage.
Yep.
All right, Johnny. Let's move on from PlayStation back to Mega Drive for some reason. 1997. I know very little about this other than that it exists. The Echo Tides of Time limited edition for the Mega Drive, released by Sega in partnership with the London Aquarium. What happened?
I don't know.
Hexagon? I think this comes in a cardboard hexagon. It comes with a t-shirt, a cassette, and a shared adoption certificate for a real dolphin named Echo. So did the London Aquarium get a dolphin? And then they're like, hey, we need to fund this dolphin. Let's partner with Sega and release some bullshit for idiots.
So you'd say London Aquarium. For some reason, my brain always thought this was an Australian exclusive, but maybe I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry.
My brain, I've just had that wrong forever. All right.
It's got French on the box. I don't think anyone in Australia speaks French.
No, but I mean, they don't really speak. I mean, not that no one speaks French in England, but in London, like English. So I don't know.
I am excited for the fact that this is a hexagon. As a PC big box collector, Johnny, unusual box shapes are highly, highly collectible. And for consoles, seeing a box that is not a fucking rectangle is really rare, isn't it?
It sure is.
And that's all we got to say. What else do you have to say about this?
Nothing. It's weird. It's a super.
Give me a price. How rare is this?
Oh God, it's so rare. Like you don't see this. Like
okay.
I mean, if you really want a T-shirt and a cassette that comes from Echo, you also get those in there. So like, be sure.
Is this like one of those impossible rare things?
I don't know if it's impossible rare, but like eBay. There's none on eBay. But also, like I would check UK eBay over our eBay if I was looking for this. I mean, people have it. It's not impossible to find, but I haven't seen many collectors show this off.
All right. Yeah, definitely.
Ever. So I think it's one of those items that most people don't actually know exists. And even I, who know it exists, I thought it came from Australia. And you're like, no, London, the partnership with the London Aquarium. I'm like, well, then why would it be from Australia? Okay, that doesn't make any sense. I've had this wrong. So even someone who's looked at this before got it wrong. So yeah, unlikely that most people know about it or it's easy to find.
Okay. There's a Racket Boy article on it, and like Racket Boy article, does Racket Boy write articles anymore? So is it okay? In 2011, one sold for $1,300. 2011, what? And then in 2012, one sold for $280, which still $280 in 2012, pretty serious, but it must be so rare that there's essentially no price history.
Yeah,
it's whoever wants one at the time.
It's a see it, buy it game. Like it came up, I'm buying it because it's there. Yep.
And there's also a limited edition box set separate for the first Echo the Dolphin. We didn't bring this up, Johnny. Why didn't we bring this up? But it's the same type of box as the Lucky Dime Caper, the really fancy looking black box.
Maybe that's the Australian exclusive.
That's probably what you're thinking of. I don't know. It also comes with some whale conservation bullshit. What the fuck? Wait, Johnny.
What are you doing right now?
Does the fancy box come inside the hexagonal box? No.
This is its own. The limited edition box set is its own thing.
One's Echo Tides of Time, which is the hexagon, but then there's also the limited edition box set, which is just Echo. Why didn't we bring that up?
Because I forgot. Yeah, so it was PAL exclusive, and it's one of. So it's in the same vein as Lucky Dime Caper. So
that's the one that includes the Echo adoption certificate, not the hexagon Echo Tides of Time.
The hexagon one, I mean, it comes with the same shirt. A lot of the same paperwork is actually in there if you look at it.
How could it be the same shirt? Echo Tides of Times comes with an Echo 1 shirt? What, do you think we're not going to notice that? This is the Tides of Time.
Yeah, I think people aren't.
Le Mar du Temps, according to the French text, which comes before the English text.
What do you want to do?
All right, I don't know what else to say about this, Johnny. Man, if you are into this Echo limited edition stuff, you are more hardcore than either me or Johnny, because that is some serious deep cut Sega stuff you're going after.
You super are. Like, go find that hex box and tell me you've ever seen that hex box before. I guarantee more people have seen this black box one than the hex box.
Oh yeah. All right, so we're in the late 90s now. We're getting into kind of shitty limited edition territory. I still kind of don't care about anything from this era, Gianni. We could blow through some of these.
We're just talking about it real quick. This is just a quick discussion.
Myst Desktop Edition in 1998 was a limited edition of Myst that came out in the UK. Did I already talk about this? It came with a mouse pad and a screensaver. Who cares? I guess also in 1998, kind of important, Ocarina of Time Collector's Edition. Everybody knows this exists. It is balls common as dirt. One of the most common sealed games of all time in terms of things that people actually want to collect. Johnny, is the Collector's Edition of Ocarina of Time better than the regular edition?
Absolutely.
There we go. You heard it on Collector's Quest.
Absolutely.
Collector's Edition's the one to have.
Absolutely. The gold cartridge. Look, man, if you aren't getting a gold, you know my feelings on gold cartridges. Like the fact that my favorite Zelda still, Link to the Past doesn't have a gold cartridge hurts my heart. Okay. It hurts me. It hurts me a lot. Not even a gold box. Like they did it better in PAL. And then like, N64, they wised up. They're like, oh, yeah, we're just going to call it Collector's Edition if they want it, even though it's coming out on the same day and it's only a few dollars more. This is the Collector's Edition, and we'll put this shitty plastic thing on the box or whatever it is, or shiny cardboard, and yeah, that's great. But they made the carts gold, and that's the important thing.
Also, we're skipping over. There's a bunch of PlayStation stuff, especially in Japan. One thing I want to bring up, just because I think it's super cool. All of the Metal Gear Solid games have a premium package, which is essentially just a big box, fancy fucking t-shirt edition. But 1998 is the first one, Metal Gear Solid premium package. It is not very expensive, probably under $100, and I don't know what does Metal Gear Solid go for? Is that still like $20, or has that shot up a little bit?
Bet it's more than that now.
Yeah, like you could get like the cool Japanese version of Metal Gear Solid, or you could probably get like a version and a half of just the regular American version. So I don't know, just something to think about. And I put Final Fantasy Anthology here because it was branded as collector's package in the US, but I think that was the only version of Final Fantasy Anthology you could get.
Yes.
I was just stretching because there aren't that many games, Jack.
So let me go into, since we got to Nintendo 64. Hold on. Backtrack. Echo, the Tides of Time Hexbox does not have a shirt. It's got the stuff that Tyler talked about. It comes with a cassette and a shared adoption certificate in it. There's no shirt. Okay. Actually, someone's saying it does include a t-shirt and a tape, but I think they're wrong.
This game's so obscure, people can't even agree on the contents, guys.
So no, it does have a tape, but it does not have, that's the black box they're thinking of. Anyways, who fucking cares? N64 stuff. So N64 is where things started to, like, that time frame is where things started to get weird. You started to get these like add-ons, this retailer exclusive. So if you're thinking of the Gauntlet Pewter figures, like I said, doesn't list as a special edition. Neither does the Tarzan big box. Neither does Rampage, Micro Machines, Toy Stories with the tickets. None of that stuff listed as a special edition. This is just like bonus stuff they're getting in there. And there are other versions of each of these games, but this is just bonus stuff that they're trying to sell you a copy with, but not calling it a collector's edition, which was probably a mistake. Isn't Superman...
All that junk was like, no one went to the store and they're like, I'm going to get the Rampage World Tour that comes with the keychain.
No.
I think that was all just junk. Like, I'm looking for a game. I'm an idiot 9-year-old. Oh, this one has a thing with it. I'm going to buy this one.
So I will say, I want to mention, do you know what special edition we failed to talk about that's on the N64? This is so good because it mirrors
the sculptor's cut, Johnny.
No, that's not
I know.
Superman N64 is a collector's edition, and there's nothing special about it. It's the only edition. It comes with the comic, and yeah, it's got a little silver badge. I've talked about it on the show before, but it's great because it mirrors the 1979 Atari version of special edition. So it's beautiful. You should get both of those and take a picture because they're not special. They're the only ones.
I never even noticed that. We should have bookended the episode with these two games. We should have only gone up to 1999.
Let's just stop right there. Episode over. Done.
That's hilarious.
So that's the end of collector's editions, but let's talk about what the future created after that, because that's all we wanted to talk about.
Just because I didn't hear you say it specifically, on the box of Superman on N64, there is a silver badge that says Collector's Edition for no reason.
No reason
amazing.
at all. Yeah,
that's amazing. What are the chances, Johnny?
It's so good. Like the fact that both of those exist and they're both special editions and nothing happens with them. Chef's kiss, just mwah, just the best. So good. Anyways, that's our wrap up through those collector's edition. But let's talk about the horrible future and like where things really started to go off the rails. Tyler, you've written down some really good examples. Some of these are my favorites, but you should close with the Sonic one. We opened with that, really. Do you want to mention any more about that before we get into the horrible
Sonic Adventure limited edition? What was that? The Hollywood Video kind of demo version of Sonic Adventure?
Yeah, it came out like 2 weeks before. And it usually has a horrible Hollywood Video sticker around the center of the disc, which I think is great because it tells you where it came from. Don't remove that. Like that's the history, you preservationists. Like keep it there. Anyways, that's a dig on all of my museum makers and preservationists. Anyways, the future becomes horrible after that, and like we start to go off the rails. Where do you think? Like, tell me where we started to go. Like with Halo 2, and then tell me what it became after Halo 2.
All right. So, yeah, I didn't do any research into the 2000s. I was just basically went on memory of having lived through it and thought of what I think were some of the most interesting and popular collector's editions of the time. 2004, Johnny, Halo 2, the most hyped video game of all fucking time.
Yeah. Who didn't play Halo 2?
Right, I didn't play Halo 2. I played Halo 2 like maybe 10 years after release.
I didn't play Halo 1 till I played Halo 2. I played Halo 2 first because I didn't have an Xbox, really.
As someone who only plays the single-player campaigns, Halo 2 kind of sucks, guys. Halo 1 and 3 are fucking awesome, though. Anyway, Halo 2 Collector's Edition, I believe it was only $5 more than the regular edition. And for some reason, I had in my head that it sold more copies than the regular edition, but I might have made that up or I saw an unsourced claim. I couldn't find anything to back that up. What I
don't remember is we're in 2022. Facts are no longer needed. You said it, so it's real.
I could just say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember looking for this game, and because I was working on my Xbox set at the time, and I'm like, I wanted a regular copy of Halo 2, like just a nice regular copy. I'm like, why is it harder to find a nice regular copy of Halo 2 than the limited edition tin version? It doesn't make any sense. Obviously, nothing about this game is limited. It probably sold millions of copies in this stupid tin. But I think there's something to say that we had a moment in history where there was a limited edition of literally like the biggest game ever, Halo 2, and it was only $5 more. God damn, it was beautiful.
It was a better time.
Another great collector's edition, one of my favorites. I have it on both Xbox and PC, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, Johnny. It's another one of these games that it's the same size as a normal box. It's just twice as thick. It comes in a little bit thicker cardboard. It's got some tchotchkes inside. It's got a map. It's got a septum coin. I love the Oblivion Collector's Edition. And do you know why I love it too? I think it was like $10 more than the regular version. Again, just super affordable, easy to just say like, oh yeah, I'm an Elder Scrolls guy. Give me that. On top of that, this was before Horse Armor, which was introduced with Oblivion, which is kind of the start of nickeling and diming and seeing how much money that the publishers could extract from us for every little stupid thing. So we had Halo 2, $5 more, Oblivion, $10 more. That is a period of 2.5 years between those games. The only time I enjoyed modern collector's editions, Johnny.
It went so south after that.
Yes, two games took us, I'm going to say it started taking us off the rails. They probably took us off the rails, Johnny. Halo 3 Legendary Edition.
Hello!
With the fucking helmet. Here we go. Oh, we're going to include a whole ass helmet with the video game now, where you could say, what was it? It was a little bookcase. You could store the first 3 Halo games in it.
Yeah, well, it came with other stuff that went in there that like filled it up. You know, I want to complain about this.
Okay.
Because, like, if you're going to give me a fucking helmet, make it so I can wear it. how many people
it's cat sized. You could, if you hollowed it out, you could put it on like a cat.
No, it's bigger than that. Like some children, I've saw people like try to get their kids' heads in that thing, but don't do that, man. Don't give me like a I don't know. I want to say like a 2/3 scale helmet. It's like, how much more would it have cost you just to make it so I could have put it on? Okay, like if you're already putting this giant fucking box around it, all the other thing, I would have just rather paid a couple more dollars and had a Halo helmet I could fucking wear. Okay, even if it was cheap and stupid like that one is. I would still rather that than this garbagey tiny one. I hate that so much. I just look at it and I'm like, what a waste.
So I'm going to defend them here. One, fuck having a whole ass helmet come with a video game.
If you're going to give me a helmet, like you already gave us a helmet. You already put it in there. You already did the thing. So the correct answer is not to make it a helmet, okay?
I agree with that, but this was already, for as big as it was, this was a very extravagant limited edition, considering the 1 year before this came with a coin and a map.
No, I'm just saying, like, none of this half-ass bullshit. If you're going to do it, go all the way. It's chicken shit. I'm not.
You want one that went all the way, Johnny? You just have to go one more year to fucking Fallout 3, whatever the fuck that, probably called Survival Edition or something. It came with a lunchbox and a Pip-Boy that you could wear. And I think that Pip-Boy was a piece of shit, but I haven't touched one in like 15 years now, so I don't remember. Holy shit, that was a big buy. It was like a fucking crate.
Yeah,
like this gigantic. Legendary and this Fallout 3 thing were just like, guys, what are we doing here? This is becoming a problem.
Yeah, and they get bigger. Like, you know what's crazy though? As big as our special editions are, if you look at some of the crazy special editions that have come since in like Japan, they're insane. They're like whole statues, like giant, like half size. I don't know what's going on over there, but like, it's ridiculous.
I mean, I don't know what's going on over here either.
Oh no, like this is crazy. But when you see like some of their super rare special editions, it's like, what is this? Why would anyone want this? But they've got them. And
I mean, they live in more limited space in Japan. At least
they're
if
a
you live
tiny
in a city.
island.
So I don't think there's not crazy people that are collecting everything. It's just, oh, I'm the world's biggest fan of this anime, and they're finally making the game for this anime. I'm going to get this one collector's edition to go with all my other anime shit from this anime.
Yep. So what my theory for the next special edition for a mech game, pick whatever mech game you are. Here's how you do it in Japan. You put a limited edition part. You put it in a giant box, but you don't know which part you're getting, and you have to assemble like 20 of them, and after that you can make the whole mech if you get them all.
Yeah. All right, I like it. So do that, make it where you need 20 of them, and then only release like 3,000 of the entire thing.
Yep.
So like only like a couple hundred people could ever even hope to put it together.
Could you imagine how baller you would feel though if you were the guy with the mech?
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You'd be like, I assembled this whole thing, motherfuckers. Just double middle fingers up. Just like, yeah, look at me. I'm the best.
I mean, we talked about it. This is the kind of like super limited bullshit that I want publishers to get in on, only because I'm totally out on buying any of that garbage. I just want to see it.
Me too. Follow me for more bad ideas on how to make your games more collectible.
All right. Johnny, after Halo 3 and Fallout 3, we kind of opened the floodgates here. All the Call of Duties at this point started getting really just over-the-top things that came with toys. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Prestige Edition came with the night vision goggles. Black Ops Prestige Edition in 2010 came with an RC car.
You know what else came with an RC car? There was Gears of War, but it was a pre-order bonus. Like if you bought it early enough, like the special edition, which was like a steel book with like
1, really?
No, 2. I think it was 2 with like the one that came with like the gear in it. If you bought that one and you pre-ordered it, one of the places, I think it was Best Buy, had an RC car.
Huh. I don't remember that. Weird.
We should talk about how dumb pre-order bonuses got, and now how like they got like ridiculous to try and get your money. Now they're like, here's a costume code. You're like, cool, thanks. Who gives a shit?
We should do an episode on pre-order bonuses.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I bet there's a bunch from like the 2000s to 2010s that are kind of rare and interesting. And now it's just like, yeah, here's a fun.
Yeah, now it's just, who gives a shit? It's going to be so hard to research that, but let's do it.
Like, I remember having to go into retailers to, like, pick up my pre-order item as I pre-ordered something physically, and I could only, like, buy this thing for $5 with my pre-order. And I bet, like, all that shit's gone. Like, who fucking cares about all that? 2011, Johnny, in my opinion, the most egregious and bad collector's edition of all time. Skyrim Legendary Edition.
Oh, man.
The most egregious just because Elder Scrolls was popular with Oblivion, but I think Oblivion kind of launched it into the stratosphere. So the next game coming out, Skyrim, was, again, I don't know if it had Halo 2 hype behind it. It's hard to beat Halo 2's hype. A game that literally everyone in the world is going to want to play. And the collector's edition for this game, no one has room for it. There's nowhere to put it. It's like Steel fucking Battalion. It's the biggest goddamn box with just a stupid ass statue of a dragon. Who cares?
I care.
I'm not collecting statues.
Yeah. Some of the Batmans got that way. We've talked about those.
Oh, they got like huge ass batarangs.
Yeah. That Batman box is cool, but it's so big, and like, where do you put it?
At least there are two dimensions of that box that are small, so you could probably slide it somewhere. But
that's like you
Skyrim
put it up
Legendary
on top
is
of
just
a
a
shelf.
cube.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's
like,
nowhere you're putting it. It goes nowhere. Oh yeah, and I double checked. Yeah, it was the Centaur tank that came with Gears of War 2, and it was a Best Buy pre-order. My memory serves me.
Wow, you're very smart, Johnny.
It's not very expensive.
For my video game info.
It's $35 if you want it on eBay. Go get it.
And I think that kind of brings us into the modern era where everything comes with a goddamn statue.
Talk to me about my favorite one.
So, of the past 11 years now, the only thing I think worth mentioning is Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which again we've mentioned on the show. Just the most egregious money grab. It's like fascinating that they actually did this. But if you don't know, Assassin's Creed Odyssey had different collector's editions that you could essentially, like literally like 10 different collector's editions, and you could spend whatever you want. And all of them had like unique statues. So you buy like the $500 edition and it comes with this amazing statue. And you buy the $600 edition and it comes with this statue that's just like a little more amazing. Not the same statue, a different, slightly bigger statue. Just the craziest marketing plan ever. But they haven't done it again. So apparently it didn't work out, I guess.
How big do you want your special edition?
Like having the full set of those has to be. We've brought this up a lot on the show. The full set of Assassin's Creed Odyssey editions has got to be the holy grail of Xbox 360, right? Is that what it came out on, or what? Xbox One? I don't even know what games come out on anymore. It looks like most of the ones on eBay are from PS4. So
yeah, I mean there was some other big one. So you know how I talked about go all the way with the helmet? I think there is a Fallout that has a helmet, or Doom. Maybe it's Doom that comes with the helmet.
I think Fallout 4 has a helmet from the power suit in the limited edition.
Isn't it there a Fallout, or isn't there
I think
Doom?
limited run games came out with some version of Doom that came with a helmet as well, I think. Am I right on that? Am I crazy?
It's Doom Eternal, right?
Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, Doom Eternal Collector's Edition for the PS4 has the helmet. Wearable. See, that's what I'm talking about.
I don't know what
someone
the hell
gets
I'm
it.
about. Limited run games doesn't come with the helmet. All right.
Yeah, no, limited run games come with a sticker and a card.
No, it does come with the helmet.
Does it?
Okay, you could buy a wearable Doom helmet in a collector's bundle separately, but it doesn't come with the game. It's one of those just like, here's some junk that you could put next to your game.
Yeah, there is a Doom game though that Doom game I mentioned, Doom Eternal, does have a collector's edition with the helmet.
Okay. Two different Doom helmets that you can get from the 2020s. Great.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, there's so many big special. It's so weird.
Yeah. Now it's just a nightmare. The thing that gets me is going on Instagram and seeing people like the new Horizon game came out and they bought one of each edition. So there's the regular box, and then there's a big box, and there's a fucking huge box, and they bought the game 3 times. It's like, oh my, who has the room?
I don't know. Like, again, if this is your favorite game, then okay. But you know what's crazy too? You kind of have to gamble on those. Like when it's the first one, like I think I'm gonna like this game, because if you wait, it's not gonna be there. So it's crazy.
Is it not? I mean, I bet you can't find any of those fucking Assassin's Creed Odyssey ones, like the ones that were hundreds of dollars to begin with.
I mean, you
like
probably
this
get on
game is
eBay.
so popular. I mean, these are going to be around.
Yeah.
Right? They have to be.
Maybe.
I don't know. Like the weirdest one to me was Breath of the Wild Master Edition, because I just figured like it's
gigantic.
Zelda, I will be able to get them. Yes, it's huge. And then like they didn't really reprint it or anything, and it was just kind of pretty hard to find for a Zelda game. I mean, obviously you can get one if you want to chuck money down a window, but
what was it new? Like $150?
I think so. Yeah,
and now it's
I
like
remember not
1,000?
wanting to. It was like $400 to $500 right out the gate when people were just flipping them, and I'm like, that's ridiculous. Well, I'm just gonna wait for them to print more, and then they never did, and the price amazingly didn't come down that much.
Wow,
And
it's
now
like people are insane.
whatever.
Yeah. Now it's super high. Anyways, we got more special editions. Oh man, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag had a pistol box edition. What the hell, man? Assassin's Creed is crazy. I love them. Keep doing it, yes. Assassin's Creed.
The least inspired games with the most inspired statues and collector's
so
editions.
Good. All right, that's it. That's our jaunt through special editions. Kind of a limited history of them, where they started and where the hell they wound up.
Hey, a limited history.
Yeah, doing it. Anyways, let's move on. You want to move to collector's questions?
Yeah.
Do we have any?
That up, Johnny. I think I yelled at people to put more in the Discord, so we should have some collector's questions here.
Well, maybe we do, and maybe we
Oh, wow. What a topical question by Divertov asked about a month ago. What are your favorite things to see included in collector's edition sets? Either the type of stuff that makes you actually want to open the box because it's cool, or stuff you think that will most appreciate in value, or whatever.
You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
All right, I'll go first, Johnny. I don't use anything that comes in collector's edition sets, Johnny. Check this out. There's this thing, I'm a collector. So I, by like definition, not only can I not use it because of just condition and getting lost and all that stuff, but I want everything to be complete when it's the collector's set, so it all has to live in the box. So no matter what you give me, it's going in the box. So the most important thing is the weight, the form, and the design of the box itself, because everything else is just the stuff that lives in the box. It could literally be filled with concrete, and all I care about is is the box a size that I like, which to me is usually like slightly bigger than a regular game, but still a very manageable size, and I like it to just be heavy, so fill it with paper, I guess.
Yeah, well, keep it the same height as the other games if you can, or very close to it.
Yes.
To regular edition. Make it wide, not tall. But not like depth. Like I don't want it to protrude past the other games. So you're walking a very tight rope with me on what I want. I want the box to look nice. Like, hey, if I'm gonna have to show it off on a shelf, like if I turn it face forward, like please make it look good. But I'm with you, Tyler. Like all the collector's editions, I don't really want to take anything out of them. I will say the one I did was for Breath of the Wild. It came with the case for the Switch, and that's been my travel case. I'm like, yep, that's fine. Whenever I go anywhere, I take this travel case, and it's served me very well. And I'm like, hey, it's Zelda too, so that's awesome. Yeah.
I like unbranded cases, Johnny. I would just go get a $9 case off Amazon. I'm very boring, but you know that because of my mugs.
I know. This one though, I like to see something that makes me smile, and I was like, man, it's already Zelda. That's cool. I don't care that like technically I should have just bought a second one, so I wasn't damaging my good one, but I didn't, and yeah, it served me very well. Like I don't care about the coins. Like it's neat if you put cool things in there, but meh. Like I don't want download codes. Like please stop giving me download codes.
Oh no! Let's move on to the next part of the questions. What's the most useless garbage crap in a collector's edition, and why is it coins?
Yeah, well, I actually think coins are okay. Like coins look cool as long as it's not the garbagey token style coins. Like if you put a heavy pewter coin, like I think those look neat. I'm gonna backtrack. I'll say my favorite thing for you to put in there is a comic book. Like if you put a comic book in a game, I'm like, that's cool. I'm never going to open it or read it, but I don't do that with my comics anyways. So that's perfect. And I'll know where it is.
All right, the worst thing is a steelbook. No matter what, especially when it's a steelbook and like the game already comes in a case and the game doesn't even come in the steelbook, so it's just an empty steelbook that everyone is going to keep empty. That's the worst thing. No,
the worst version, there's a worse version of that. And we'll get to it on the pre-order episode. When you pre-order and then they give you a steelbook, because then it doesn't even have a home, that's the worst version.
Every steelbook, what is... We just got to... One of our new patrons is a steelbook collector, right?
But you know what? You know what he does? Steelbooks. No, but he puts them on his wall, and it looks cool because he's doing something with them.
Sure,
like,
but his are like very like they're displayed like face out, right? Yeah. Like all over the place.
Yeah, they look like. I mean, a lot of times the art on the steelbook is cool, but like if I don't have a home for it, or and it doesn't fit in the box or something, then what am I doing with it? This guy is doing something with it, so I don't give him grief. I thought that looked cool. I was like, that's cool. I've never seen anybody do that before, so that was pretty neat. But like steelbooks that don't have a home, pre-order steelbooks are the worst steelbooks. But like coins are fine. Cloth maps I find to be pretty useless, usually because they're like no detail and like you've got a map in the game. Like, so I guess thanks for that.
I actually use my Ultima maps. I look, so I'm in 2022, so I download the map off Google Images and then I put it into Photoshop and I write notes on top of it.
Nice. So why do you need your cloth map?
I don't. I mean, but I would put notes. I don't know, Johnny. I'm playing this game 30 years after it came out.
Okay. I like maps in general, so like that's cool. Like if you with the Lord of the Rings special edition, I like with any of these games that come out, I don't know like any Lord of the Rings game. Like, why aren't you giving me a map of Middle Earth?
You see, I love maps. I don't like the idea of maps being a special thing because every Grand Theft Auto game comes with maps. Like from GTA 1, they've all come with maps of all the cities. Like Elder Scrolls games always come with map a lot. Like PC games in general just always came with maps. So the idea of that, like, oh, it's a special thing. It's like, it's a poster. It literally cost you 2 cents to make.
No, I'm talking like a nice cloth one.
It still cost them 2 cents.
That's true.
So, all right, as someone who I don't use anything in my special editions, like these days, especially if I'm buying a special edition, I'm probably just buying the special edition, putting it aside, and like either buying a game separately or taking the game out and never touching any of the stuff in the box because I want to keep it as nice as possible. But I'm going to say less is more. Don't give me any of that shit. Like, you look at limited run games, and when they try to put like
I hate that stuff. I don't want it.
The quantity over quality of their limited edition tchotchkes, like, it makes it look so cheap to me with enamel pins and coins. Fucking, what are the postcards called? Lithographs. All that stuff. Like, even, I'm looking at my shelf right now. Let me just look at some limited edition, just garbage. Celeste on Switch, it comes with a plushie of a strawberry.
No, it doesn't. Does it? Does that? Yes, it does. A special? I thought there was a plush version that came with a download code. The regular.
No, this is a limited run games thing.
Oh, okay.
Like Undertale comes with like a locket that's a music box. Like that's a unique and cool thing for them to make, but it's still cheap Chinese garbage that like it doesn't add any value. The most valuable things I've said this before, the most valuable things in like a real collector's edition, I think come with like some like Criterion Collection Blu-ray releases that come with like a thick book, and it'll just be like essays of like why this movie is important, what went into making this movie, things like that. Like actual effort went into this book. This wasn't just like, oh, we've got these JPEGs. Let's just get this factory in China to make us some 11-cent pins of them.
Yeah, send it to Shutterfly. They'll package that up for you. No problem.
Like information that clearly took effort and wasn't just like, all right, what are the cheap things that go into collector's editions? Stickers. Here they are.
Yeah,
you know what? No, it's a great example. The 45-minute cassette in Ultima 6. Because you know what? That was something that fucking Richard Garriott himself had to take an hour of his life to sit down and make that. So that was something that took effort. It wasn't just some mass-produced crap. So books, I will say, is the most important thing. Information.
I'll go one lower. I hate all the mass-produced stuff too. Like, you've heard me talk about why I don't like limited run special editions ad nauseum. I know people are tired of hearing me talk about. But I don't like stickers. I don't like cards, even though I keep telling you to put cards in games. I don't actually like them. I just find it boring. I want my limited edition, like, give me a different cover and give me different disc art. That's it. And make sure my case is nicer than the Eco card. Like, literally, that would be the best for me. Just,
oh, man.
That would be it. Like, you could charge me more, and I'd probably, every game that you did, if you just gave me better disc art, better cover art, like, that's not, like, unique to just that version, and gave me a nicer case, I'm in. I'll pay more, probably on every game I buy.
So, I mean, Johnny, we're pretty much in agreement here. And I think, like, someone needs to take this conversation and send it over to fucking EA and Ubisoft and just be like, hey, it's not the price that's the problem. Stop with these huge boxes. We will literally buy as fans of the games, we will literally buy the collector's editions if it's the same fucking shit and you just make it a thicker cardboard box and write special edition on the cover. Maybe give it, like, some nicer art, like some really clean art, like not, like, no characters or anything, just have it be, like, black on black text, let's say.
Oh, like maybe you put a slipcase over it that has, like, a cardboard slipcase that has, like, the proper text in the UPC, but you pull it off and it's just a clean image of that, no logos, no bullshit.
No, screw that. I can't deal with removing a slipcase. I'm going to lose the slipcase and use a home, Johnny.
Well, I mean, the slipcase will live on top of the game. Slipcases are always attached. They have a home always.
All right, Johnny, whatever. the point is, look at
Hold
comics.
on, you lose slipcases?
Well, you said that if you pull the slipcase off the game, it would have the nice, clean, no UPC thing, but I'm never going to pull the slipcase off the game.
Like, to get the actual, like, DVD-style case out, you pull the little slipcase. It's all clean and nice. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, go on. I'm derailing.
Yeah, like, look at comics. The way that comics work, they have these, like, 1 in 50 insert variants, 1 in 25 variants, and, you know, some of those things, they'll get, like, a 25x premium on the price, because you would have had to buy like, a store would have had to order 25 copies to get that very fancy copy. It's the same comic, it just has different art on the cover. And that's all I'm asking for in limited edition. They don't, like, be like, oh, here's your special edition of Ice Cream Man, and it comes with Ice Cream Man pins. Every 25th copy comes with pins, and we're gonna get coins,
and
we're gonna insert a lithograph.
Robbins. Here you go. Yeah,
that would be the funniest promotion. Ice Cream Man is a horror comic for anyone who doesn't know.
Yeah.
It was trendy before. I don't know if anyone cares anymore.
I think people still care. The covers are so excellent on Ice Cream Man.
They do have good covers.
Good.
I bet the limited edition covers are good too.
Yeah, well, and then, like, a lot of them, what I was saying is they, like, remove the logo and stuff, so it's just, like, super clean art. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, give me that. Like, please stop. Right. Like, I will, and then give me a nice case. Like, please, no fucking Eco cases, please.
Look at, like, high-end trading cards, Johnny. Fucking trading cards are pieces of cardboard. They are worthless. They are stupid. They're nothing. What is the high-end shit? The high-end shit is, it's either a nice card, it's a rare card that just looks nicer and different, or it has, like, an on-card autograph. By the way, like, real autographs, I think are a cool thing they could include in limited editions.
You know what would be crazy? Like, if they just started going with, like we talked about, going, like, for their special editions and having like the Magic style where they start to get, like, crazy art and treatments on the front of their games, and, like, they have it in a nice protective thing so you get it and you, like, you know what? Give me my special editions. This is the worst idea ever, but put it in a foil package, like a cart, like a pack of cards, like a foil wrapper, and then, like, really test people. Are you cracking?
I would love that.
Are you cracking that open to get your game out, or are you going to leave it? Are you going to leave it pristine?
As long as whatever packaging they keep it in would look nice enough on its own, like it's not just like a really shitty foil wrapper. Like, yeah, dude, I'm all about.
I mean, I would
open it. I would open it carefully and save the wrapper, but I want to know what variant I have.
Yeah,
because if I have the bad variant, I want to go make sure I get a good one.
So I would put it in like a
nicer
plastic case, like something equivalent to like a box protector, but a little bit thicker, and then put the foil wrapper in there. But like, I really love the idea that you have to crack the wrapper to get your game out. I think that would be hilarious.
If we did, there would be like riots in the streets if someone announced something like that, Johnny.
Oh man, if I was making a game, like especially if it had anything to do with cards, I would definitely be doing that. It would be like a super limited edition, and you're just like, yep.
God. Oh, if it was like some stupid like Eye of Judgment game, that would be perfect.
Yeah, right?
Thematic. Like that new Yu-Gi-Oh game, if they did the physical edition of that, it would be so good. Yep. It would be so good.
That's what I'm saying. Anyways.
Someone needs to put us in charge of this stuff, Johnny.
I know.
That is such a good idea. This is the kind of shit that the shitty limited run game company, and I'm sorry, I'm sure you're all wonderful,
strictly
fine
limited
companies, but basically everything that's not limited run games that is trying to capture some of that amazing market share that they have, which is kind of funny because their whole thing is that they're limited when they're super popular now and a lot of people order from them, and they're not limited most of the time anymore. But they need to do this stupid shit. I think the craziest thing we saw was the company that was going to put out physical editions of new games and then explicitly not release them digitally just so that they would have these super rare physical games. And they wimped out on it, and I hate it. I want someone to do something crazy and stupid.
Yeah, I would love to see that. And like, I know I like kind of pile on limited run quite a bit, but like of the companies doing it, like they're doing it the best. So
what? You think they're doing it the best in what way?
And like, I mean, all the additional junk that they offer and like the additional sales on their website. Like, I kind of like some of the things that they've changed where like, I'm not going to put this in my special edition, but if you want to bundle, here's some extra products that you can also buy with this. Like, rather than just slam it all into a special edition.
I mean,
though they still do that. They're doing better. And it's like the bar is pretty low compared to what their competitors are here. I'm just saying, of them, I think they do the best editions of games.
So. All right, I will disagree because I just said all like the random cheaply manufactured junk is my least favorite part of collector's edition, so I don't like any of that.
Well, I don't like it any, but they all do it. So, but of them who are all doing the same thing, who's doing it the best? I think they are. I will say I did buy the Castlevania Switch holder, so I they got me.
I think they get the best games. Like very clearly, they get some really big, serious games. But I don't like the actual editions themselves. Least of all of which because they got rid of their actual limited model and switched to open pre-orders. I think collector's editions are bullshit. But I think if you do something that gets people angry that you did it, it's like, oh, now we have an interesting product because people are angry, and the reason they're angry is because they think they might not be able to get it. And that is when I think maybe you got some manufactured rarity, but you got some real rarity and scarcity going on for something because people are already mad just because you announced something.
Yeah, I mean, they still have games where they do 1,500 or only 2,000.
Yeah, but they're the bullshit games. And I'm sorry for people who like indie stupid ass anime games, but no one actually there's not 1,500 people who want that, so who cares?
Anyways, any more questions or are we good here?
What's the time on the podcast? 2 hours. We're doing another question, Johnny. Right. Oh, this requires some thought. VG Collectaholic asks, what item in your collection did you actively hunt for the longest period of time? How long was it, and why did it take so long? Was it sheer rarity, pickiness on condition, high cost, stubbornness, or something else? Wow.
Well, Kid Dracula took me a long time to get. Like, that thing was on my want list forever. I'm just actually going to open my eBay want list. And
I'm doing the same thing.
Because where's my save searches? Like, what's still on there?
Yeah, I don't think that my answer is going to be something that I already found. It's going to be something that I've been searching for forever and just haven't found it.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? The Faria map is like, or Faria map is like one of those things I just... I've wanted it forever and I've never brought myself to buy it. So I think his question means like, what did we buy? So that's still one I haven't bought.
There are a lot of games that I've spent 1 to 2 years searching for. And usually if a game doesn't come up in 2 years, either it doesn't come up or like the price is just clearly like it's never going to be a price I want to pay. I usually give up if it's been that long. That's a really long fucking time.
Yeah. Kid Dracula was on my list for I think 10 years.
I do have a couple games on here that I have been searching for numerous years, but I'm obviously not going to bring them up. One I will bring up, Grand Theft Auto Player's Choice for the Xbox, just because I don't care about it that much, but I still have been casually looking for this, like maybe 5 years at this point.
But is he talking about games that we actually got or are still looking
like the problem is I can't think of the games I got because I deleted the save search. Like I've had those moments where it's like, oh my God, finally, but I can't think of the ones I've actually got. Because like I would have to prepare for this question in advance. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the other one for me was the stupid. It took a long time. It took a couple of years, but stupid black text Compton's encyclopedia CD.
Yeah,
man,
real collector stuff.
Just
guys, check your Comptons on Sega CD. If you don't have the black text on the disc, your version is bullshit, and I guarantee your version's bullshit.
Yeah, and it has to be the black text in the one that is in the cardboard sleeve, not the regular edition. This is the cardboard sleeve only. And I've told this story before, but like I'm pretty much the one who identified that variant. And then while I was going to win the auction, I had negotiated with the guy because he was selling with the whole X. I'm like, I'll buy it. Like, here's my offer. Like, I was talking to him via message. I was like, look, it's going to go for about this. This is what market price is. No one cares about this. I'll pay you right now so you don't have to wait the week and a half or whatever on the stupid 10-day auction. He said, no, I don't want to do that. So we went and I was bidding and, I was sniping at the very end and my power goes out right as I'm doing this. And this is like, it's got to be 2010. 2009, like ish, maybe 2011, like in that range of time. And so I lost the auction, like literally with 10 seconds left to go, my power went out. And then it took me several years, like I think until 2016 to actually find it. So.
Johnny, collecting used to be so cool back when this is the shit that people cared about and not fucking Zelda.
Like I said, I always wanted people to care more about like the cool stuff, but I miss when people cared about the bullshit that I still care about.
I know. Your damn prophecy coming true.
I know. Fucking, I architected my own future and now I'm sad it's here.
Let me answer the second half of the question here. What was the reason that I'm hanging on to this Grand Theft Auto? Is it the sheer rarity or the price? The problem, so the thing is, I give up on games. Like 2 years is a long ass time to be looking for something. If you when I'm looking for something, I'm basically willing to pay whatever the price is, or like I will set a new market price because I've been looking for this so long. Just give me the version that I'm looking to buy. The problem with the Grand Theft Auto Platinum Hits isn't its rarity. It's that it is not. It's just on the cusp of being not rare enough that I think I'll be able to find one. Like I refresh my save searches, and every few months I will see a Grand Theft Auto Platinum Hits on the Xbox, and I will fucking miss it by like a minute. And I've had a couple people offer them to me for sale, but they're like, "Yeah, I want $500 because this is the hot rare Xbox thing." It's like, fuck you. I know I'm gonna get one eventually. So I can't pay the high price for it, but I'm not giving up on finding one for $30. And the reason I really haven't given up is because I just think Grand Theft Auto 3 is one of the greatest games of all time in every possible way. It's my favorite Grand Theft Auto game. I think it's super important in the development of 3D games. Obviously, everyone knows how important Grand Theft Auto 3 is. I think a lot of people who played Grand Theft Auto games of that era gravitate towards Vice City and San Andreas, but I am Grand Theft Auto 3 man through and through. So I'm going to get one eventually. And it's only going to cost me $30.
All right. The reason I didn't with Kid Dracula, just still as my example, the Black Label Compton's is because I just couldn't find it. And then Kid Dracula, it wasn't showing up, or the price was so ridiculous. And I waited, and it got to the point where I'm like, it's never going to be in my price range. It's already eclipsed what I'm willing to pay. And then as I was pretty much giving up on it, like one came up for a steal of a price. I still don't know why it was so low. Not that it was inexpensive or anything. It was still like pretty expensive. But I pulled the trigger and I got it. I was super pumped about that buy.
They went to price charting. They priced it based on price charting, and they completely fucked themselves is what happened, Johnny.
Well, I mean, that's back when price charting still worked. So.
Oh, those were the days.
Yeah. Remember? Hey, remember when you could go to websites and find out prices and they were like kind of accurate and they used to like track what was going on? Remember? Remember then?
Yeah, that was cool. Johnny, I want to do an episode on the impossibility of collecting everything because there's so many games now. But forget price charting. In the mid 2000s, I just knew the price of every game because there were so many fewer games that people collected. Like, there were like a couple consoles that you needed to worry about, and of those, like a couple hundred games that relatively frequently came up for sale. So I just knew the price of every game.
Yeah. Those were the days.
Game collecting sucks now. I hate having like basically every game I would ever want to play ever in my life at my fingertips. Also, now they're all on my computer digitally and everything, and all the best games are free now. And oh man, life sucks, Johnny.
Aww.
I miss the good old days. Why do we have the internet? I missed finding all my information out monthly from magazines on a huge delay.
Hey, do you want to move on now?
Yes, let's do it.
Hey, and you can cut this if you want, but were you ever going to buy Alien on Atari?
I mean, I kind of want it, but
there's one that's closing in 11 hours. That's only at $47. It's an okay.
See that, like, that's already like expensive for me.
I mean, it's a game that goes over 100. It's got a bad ding on the side though, so you may not be interested.
Which side?
On the right.
It's a pretty bad ding though.
Yeah.
What is this? Wait, this is the packaging for this game?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yep.
This is wild. It's got a little slide out sideways box. What? Is this how all these 20th Century Fox games are packaged? I guess it looks like a VHS kind of.
Oh, it's missing the manual too. Gross.
Oh, yeah, forget this, John. I'm out. Looks like a decent one for $225.
No, mine is still sealed, so sorry, I can't tell you.
Oh.
Mine has got the flap over it.
Wow, you have an Atari game sealed? That's crazy.
No. It comes out. Yeah, it does. It slides out of the side.
Ooh, and it's got a hang tab on the back, just like NES games. It like pops out, and this one's popped on the $220 one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
mine is not.
Johnny, I've got some higher priorities than Alien on Atari.
Okay, well, I was just bringing it up. Anyways, listeners of the show, the auction will be closed. Sorry, cut all this. Okay, so let's move on to the other part of the show where we talk about what we're buying and what we are playing. Woo!
Yeah.
Did you buy anything or did you play anything?
Johnny.
Whoa.
I think I only got, I played fucking RuneScape. I got one exciting thing, and you were there to negotiate with me, and I paid $50 more than I wanted to.
The big news is you did negotiate and didn't just buy it now.
That's true, yes. I felt bad about negotiating, but I did it. And I definitely overpaid for this. But I got Metal Gear Solid 4, the US limited edition, signed by Hideo Kojima, which was signed at the Metreon. That's something over in California that you guys go to. This is a very specific thing, Johnny. Hideo Kojima has signed a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff is also signed by people like David Hayter or the Metal Gear Solid artist guy or like a producer on the game. I want Metal Gear Solid 4 it's my favorite Metal Gear Solid, one of my favorite games of all time. The limited edition has the art in like the Metal Gear Solid art style. I don't know what you'd call it. The regular copy of Metal Gear Solid has just like a 3D picture of Old Snake. It sucks. So I wanted the limited edition signed. I wanted the US version signed. You know, I would have taken the Japanese limited edition signed as well. But I specifically only wanted it signed by Hideo Kojima. And I think there was a signing at the Metreon in California, and there was a signing in New York, and both of them had multiple signers. So it's actually more common to see the game signed by multiple people, and I specifically just wanted the one signature. And the guy had it for like $400, and I only got him down to $350. And there's another version of Metal Gear Solid that was signed by like two people at one of these events for like $150 on eBay. So I super overpaid for this, Johnny. But it's the exact thing I want. What are the chances of this exact version of the game with just the one signature coming up?
It's not happening again.
I know, right? So I had to buy it. There have been so many things the past couple of years where I've basically nickeled and dimed myself like, oh, I only want to pay this. Am I really going to stretch another $50? And now like I'm just never going to get some of that stuff. So I just completely YOLO'd. I mean, it's like a top 10 game of all time for me. So I went and I did it, Johnny. I did it.
You did it. Nice.
What a cool video game guy. That's pretty much the only big thing I got.
Yeah.
I mean, not only big. Okay, you know what? You want my other thing I got, Johnny?
Yeah.
I got another jewel case copy of Quake. We're going to put it in, see if we could find that July 31st date code on the files.
Wow. You're doing it. I hope it's the right one for you.
Thank you. I'll let you know.
Yeah. I'm rooting for you.
What'd you get, Johnny?
Well, I got a mess of GBA games. Hey, thanks, Coffee with Mr. Sadden, as usual.
Oh, what a surprise.
Yeah, what a shock for anybody who doesn't know where I get my GBA games. He is always nice enough to be like, hey, here's some that I found for you or that you need. I'm just like, yeah, great. Now, how much do I owe you? And then I'm like, hem and haw about the price and then just pay him. But one of the games in there that wasn't like immediately on my list, but is probably the thing like weirdly I'm happiest about is Silent Hill for the GBA. So I mean, it's a Japan game and it's like a texted game, but you know, I love,
okay. Yeah, I was getting confused for a second. Yeah, this thing, there's like a visual novel.
This thing, but I love to have a Halloween game and like, I don't care what region it came from. Like it's a Silent Hill game. It's a horror game. It fits right into my Halloween theme. So yeah, I was pleased to get that. So that was like
it's a Silent Hill game on a Nintendo platform, which is really weird. Yeah,
it's cool. It's great. So yeah, pretty happy to get that. I think my favorite thing that I got. I mean, that's your favorite, not my favorite. But I know you were really excited when you saw my Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order Special Edition 2 terabyte external 5400 RPM Seagate hard drive.
What is it? Wait, how big is that hard drive?
It's not very big. It's just like one of those plug and play ones. It's like,
but we're still using spinning disk 5400 RPM hard drives with consoles. Have we not upgraded to the future of solid state drives of 2008? Whenever those became a big thing.
Yeah. Nope.
What do you guys still have load times?
Well, I mean, it's 2 terabytes, so there's probably if you want at least 2 terabytes on a solid state disk, it's still kind of cost prohibitive. I bet.
I've got. You're probably right, but I got 1 terabyte of a fancy NVMe drive in my computer, Johnny.
Man, my computer sucks so hard. I need to upgrade so bad, and I'm just not. I just know I'm gonna have to pay, and when I do, it's gonna be ugly, and I don't want to. Anyways,
wait.
So,
let me backtrack for a second. I don't want to focus on the hard drive format. I want to focus on the fact that buying a limited edition hard drive is the dumbest, most Star Wars fan thing ever.
So I want you to know I've waited for this hard drive. I've been watching it for, 18 months or so, like waiting for one to come up at a good price. I finally, it came up for $42. So I finally was like, all right, fine. Cause they've all been like $100.
There are like people who collect like all Star Wars merch, like any piece of garbage that has Star Wars written on it. And are you just that for video games now?
I've always been that for video games. What are you talking about?
I know.
But you know what's weird though?
Why?
I don't have all the Atari games. And I was like, I should probably fix that. So I'm missing. And then there's like some European ones, like from like Domark releases for Commodore 64 that I gotta go. I'm just like past the point of like, we're not really doing sets anymore. So it's like, I should just buy all the stupid stuff I like my Halloween collection. I'm like, yeah, I collect Star Wars game stuff. So if I see a Star Wars game thing, I'm just buying it because why not?
Hey, Johnny, you know what's something I bought last year? Do you have Lego Star Wars for the personal computer? The best version of Lego Star Wars? He says, even not really believing himself, even if technically it's correct.
I do have it.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah.
That game
I have a lot of Lego Star Wars games.
Those are cool games.
So, what was the other? The other thing I got, which I know you love, was that Boba Fett wireless Razer limited edition controller. Woo!
Stop it.
The other stupid thing, I didn't buy this, but I found out. So there's a Mandalorian version of those Razer Limited controllers. I have it, but there's a variant of it. There's a variant box where the box is all black instead of, I think, silver, and there's a different design on the charger. And now I'm like, do I need both?
Whoa, charger variant.
Yeah, the fast charger is like, fuck, man, they're different. So what do I do here? If you don't know, there's also like, they've got like 5 different Star Wars controllers now. There's like a Purge Trooper. There's like one for the like X-Wing game, pseudo X-Wing game that came out, and Boba Fett, Mando, Purge Trooper. Yeah, those are them. And then there's one that's just like, hey, here's a Star Wars Anniversary Edition one. It's just got like Darth Vader on it and like shiny gold stuff. That's the other one. So anyways, if you really want to waste your money, go buy those. That's a pretty good mistake. I also bought Teen Titans for the GBA.
Whoa!
Yeah. So
is that rare?
It's uncommon. I won't call it rare.
I have no idea. It's hard to find on Xbox. That's all I know about Teen Titans.
So the other cool thing I got, this is not a game. I'm just going to tell you about it anyways. Do you know what Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark is? Do you know what this is?
I only know the new one, and I chose not to watch it because it was rated PG-13, and I'm a little whiny baby boy.
Okay, so all right. Well, it's weird to me that you didn't watch it, especially since you like horror movies.
It is very, very hard to find a good PG-13 horror movie, I will say.
Yeah. Anyways, you should check out they are like elementary school books, right? Like this is where you found them. They were like contraband in elementary school. And it's not that the stories were so frightening, because if you don't know these stories, they're like ghost stories or whatever, but they're usually based, like the guy, Alan Schwartz, went around and like, he took stories basically from other countries' folklore and like wove them into stories. It's not like the exact thing, but he used the folklore to kind of create these stories. And they're all like pretty short. It's the Scary Story is like a book of like 6 different tales or something in this little book. The hardcovers have become, the original hardcovers have become very expensive, like over $1,000 now, I think. But the drawings in there. So this guy, Stephen, and I'm going to get his name right, Gamel, he did these horrifying drawings. So like if you look at the cover, you're like, who cares? But the art inside these books, you're just like, they're very evocative, and you're just like, what is this? Like, they're scary black and white drawings. Like they are scarier than the story.
This stuff. I'm looking on Google right now. Holy shit.
Yeah, this is in kids' books in libraries. So when you're in like 3rd grade, you find this thing and you're like, holy shit, this is scary. Like what? The drawings are way scarier than the stories. So anyways, they've got this, like I've got a couple of those, and I find other drawings by Stephen Gamel because he's a master, and like just everything he does is amazing. But there's this dumb box, right? So from the 80s, like 1989, and it's shaped like a coffin, and it has a little book, and it comes with a tape, like an audio tape of them reading it, and it's called The Fright Box. And like the last time I saw it, it was like, I don't know, I want to say it sold for like $1,000 or like $500, something like high. And I was just, it's been on my watch list. Back to that our question, it had been on my watch list for quite a few years, and one came up sealed for $35 or best offer. So I best offered $25, and they accepted, and that was with free shipping. Because this thing I saw go for like over a couple $100 at least, and I've been looking for years, was $35. I didn't buy it now immediately because I'm an idiot, and then offered, and thankfully the guy responded immediately with an accept, because I was going back to hit just buy it now. I'm like, what am I doing? But I got it, and that's like, I know no one cares about this thing, but look up the Fright Box. It's just a cool little thing. I try to get all the scary storybooks when I can find them. The dream is to always find one at like the video game dream. Like, if I find it at a garage sale, this book that's so much money will be $5, and I'll be so happy. But really, I should probably just put some money aside and buy my nice first editions and be done with it. What I have also done is, because we've created a library for my son, like some of our favorite books and like books that are like kid appropriate at like different age levels. What I've done behind like some books in his bookshelf that I know that are like on the taller side is I've hidden the first Scary Stories book back there. So one day like he'll find it like contraband. Like, what is this thing? Like some hidden treasure that he's not supposed to have, he'll find it. So it probably won't be for years, but I'm looking forward to that day.
All right. That's a good idea. Yeah. All right. I mean, I don't know anything about this, but I'm looking at it. Fan of the art. Looks pretty cool. Looks very like creepy black magic card art. Like some of this is pretty good.
Yeah, but now imagine
and
looking
they
at
changed it all. So
yeah, then they changed it, and there was a big controversy, and then they changed it back, and so the movie is based off the first stories. Yeah, like they did some new artists, like, and the art wasn't bad, but it just wasn't this, which is like the best. Now you're thinking like, yeah, this looks like pretty cool and kind of dark. Now imagine just being a third grader and finding this.
Oh
and
yeah,
being like, holy shit!
The creepy like rotting face looking straight at me. Yeah, that'll give me nightmares. Like I can't deal with that.
Yeah, there's one like where like a thumb is in the soup or something, or a toe. It's like so good.
Yeah, there's
like,
a lady like serving a decapitated head in one.
Yeah, so good. Like go check out. I know this isn't games, guys, but indulge me. It's the end of the show. Go look at this stuff if you don't know Scary Stories, and I honestly don't know how you don't, Tyler. I've never heard of these books, but yeah. Does Ada know about them? You should ask
R.L.
Ada.
Stein all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
So
this
many
is
R.L.
like,
Stein
I mean,
books.
R.L. Stein. Like, if you liked R.L. Stein, this should have been this. Like, have I told you Carly has a complete collection of Goosebumps, of the original Goosebumps?
Yeah, no,
books?
you have. I'm guessing this just came out a little bit before the Goosebumps books. And growing up, I only want the latest stuff, and the latest stuff for me was Goosebumps and Fear Street and whatever else R.L. Stein was fucking writing at the time.
Did you watch the Fear Street movies on Netflix?
No, what? There's Fear Street movies? What are you talking about?
Yeah, there's a Fear. Yeah, they did a Summer of Fear on Netflix, and it's 3 Fear Street movies. They're all like original stories that kind of compile some of the ideas that were in Fear Street into a trilogy.
Okay, weird. I'm probably not gonna watch it though. Because I haven't even I'm not up on the whatever the Mando sequel's called. Boba Fett's story
Boba
time.
Fett? You haven't finished that one?
I watched like 3 episodes. I don't know. Is that over?
So yeah, it's over. And also I'll say that I thought the 3rd episode was kind of the worst episode. It gets like better after that.
All right.
So like just get to episode 5, man. That's like where it really kicks in.
All right.
4 is better than episode 3, and episode 5 is basically just an episode of The Mandalorian. So get there.
All right. We're going.
Yeah. All right.
Trying.
And then you can think about if you want to watch Fear Street while you grind RuneScape.
I'm watching Ozark, Johnny. That's my RuneScape grinding series. If you want Breaking Bad, but like literally Breaking Bad, but like just kind of worse in every way, but also Breaking Bad is really good. So I don't know, maybe you want to watch it again. You can watch Ozark, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, I know. It's you don't have to. I'm not like shouting.
No, it's got a good cast, and people say it's good. I've just never. I'm like, nah, I don't feel like getting into this.
You could also just watch Breaking Bad again.
I don't even want to watch Breaking Bad again. I did it the first time. I'm just waiting for them to finish Better Call Saul. Like, just give me that last season this year, finally. I mean, he almost died, so a heart attack. So I'm glad Bob Odenkirk's okay. But yeah, I'm ready for the last season.
I
all good, man.
Better Call Saul. I don't even know how far I got into Better Call Saul.
Oh, I love Better Call Saul.
I know it was good. I'm too dumb to keep up on side series for whatever reason.
It's
like whenever there's a side series to something I like, I always like burn out and forget about it.
Well, it's all on Netflix, so you're fine now. Just go watch it.
All right. Is this After Dark? What's going on right now?
I don't know. You could pretty much, I mean, this is pretty much what After Dark is. Anyways, hey, you can find us on social media. You can find Tyler on places. Tyler?
I'm Default Gen GEN even on I'm on Video Game Sages. I'm just gonna give up on us ever going back to Video Game Sage. This seems like too long to fix a problem by any standard. I'm also on Instagram. Sometimes I post video games that I like. Mostly PC games now, so you know what? Probably just don't follow me.
No, you've posting so much weird, good stuff lately. I love it. I'm so into like anybody who's posting stuff I don't see every day. It's like my new favorite thing to follow. Like, please.
I didn't even. Did I talk about this Icewind Dale 2?
You didn't talk about Icewind Dale 2.
Talk about something. You know what would have been a great great response to something I've been looking for forever. And oh man, this Icewind Dale 2 big box. So there's an Icewind Dale 2. It's the last Infinity Engine game. So Baldur's Gate 2, Icewind Dale 2. Neverwinter Nights moved to the Aurora engine. Whatever. There's all these stupid computer RPGs. They all feel a certain way. I don't give a shit about Icewind Dale 2 at all. But someone years ago told me that this Icewind Dale 2 big box was rare. And it is. And I don't know, it might be like a Southeast Asia version or it might be another country release. But you look for Icewind Dale 2 big box and you cannot find it. It's got an ESRB logo on it, but that does not mean it was necessarily an American release. There's an Icewind Dale 2 collector's edition, also kind of rare, which comes in a big box. Not that. Regular ass Icewind Dale 2 big box. God, I've spent so long looking for this game. Randomly going through my save searches one day, Icewind Dale 2 big box comes up. I click it, it's a small box all the time. I never find this game. It's a sealed Icewind Dale 2 big box, like near mint condition, and it was like $30. I've been looking for this game for years. So another really cool thing I've been searching for forever. Whatever, Icewind Dale 2 big box, and now I'll put it on a shelf and never think about it again. But god, I could delete this save search. So good.
You did it.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the kind of stuff I'm posting on Instagram now.
Yeah, and Worms and Adventure for the Atari, all kinds of stuff.
I didn't even know what the original release of Worms looked like until I bought it. Who thinks about Worms 1?
Not
People
me.
like Worms Armageddon. Yeah.
Okay. I'm Johnny_Iucci. You can find me on Instagram or our Discord occasionally. I haven't been on there as much as I should. I've been like so... I've been sick for so long and getting back to work. I've been like, dude, the backlog is real. And I'm not talking video games. I'm just talking work and life, trying to get things back together in my house organized. So neglected that. But you can find me there. And you can always message me on either of those places. And I do always respond. If you want to be a part of our Discord, you have to join our Patreon for as little as $2. That'll get you there. $4 gets you our bonus content, and $6 gets you a special name badge. I don't recommend it, but if you want to support a little extra, that's great. Anyways, if you want to, please support us. But if not, hey, we're not going to hold it against you, and you're still going to get this fine content. And you can find us at patreon.com/collectorsquest. Thanks so much for listening. That's our episode for tonight. I hope you all feel special and you found out about these editions that you probably don't want to collect. All right, that's it. Bye.
That is our show. No errata. Everything we got is right and 100% accurate. Probably not, but we're begging you to send us more information on collector's editions. Thank you to 8-Bit, APE-Bit, like the monkey, 8bit.bandcamp.com. He does our intro music. Thank you to the patrons. I'm doing this fast because I got to get back to work, guys. Richard Patron number 1, Bowden, Canadian Variant Alert, Chris Glidden, Nintendo World Champion, Daniel Jacksvik, High-End Collector, Andrew Brim, Greeting Stranger, I'm not surprised to see Andrew Shelton around here, 50 Hertz is good enough for me, Andre, Video Games Were Meant to Be Slabbed, Brandon Ackley, Brian Gupta, M. Pocky and Rocky with Becky, Mint Condition, Brian J. Mora, The Strictly Limited Super Rare Bruno, Fat Cat Collector, Chris Jackson, Chris SNK, Too Many NES Accessories, Morozek, I knew I wasn't going to get that one. Johnny's GBA Hookup, Coffee with Mr. Saturn, of course, Playing with Power, Connor Strange, The Last Game You Need for the Set, Corey O'Brien, Unpunched Tank Tab, Dustin Beagle, He Has Returned to Judge This City, Eric Addison, Man of Nintendo in the World of Nintendo, Funky Brewsta, The Actual Shinobi, Jasonic the Kid, Jeff the Game Boy Ferris, Red Pyramid Thing, Jonathan Shados, The Nintendo Tape Archivist, Joseph Leo, Lance, Lord Hardstyle Z, The Degenerate, Matt Fall, Mr. CIB, get your loose Genesis carts out of here! Funko-Land employee, platform agnostic, Red the Game Shark, the Famicom Box, retro game enthusiast, they can beat Ghosts and Goblins twice, Cheffish, vintage video game connoisseur who knows they're better than modern games, the Fuzzy, Sean, the Gamer Collective, the new craft who could beat Mega Man without the pause trick, previously unknown variant, Tim Walker, from the internet, Todd Fisher, can't put limits on collecting, VG Collectaholic, the Millennium, Will Joe, keeper of the Zelda variants, 0x Def Code, going back to 0x. Getting the full PS2 set because Stefan won't, all caps, no gods or kings, only Andy Lancaster. What a 9.8 A++ Benji, the actually rare Bird Dog Gaming, new YouTube video up on Limited Run Games. Dropping the Mario 64 Penguin off the map, Brandon Chalker, Brandon Rogers, whose favorite episode is the wrestling episode, still finding deals in 2022, Colton Murphy, a winner is him, David Green, Derek Lauer, who made me edit this show, Don Libby, the hero of time, Double Ugly presents Double Ugly, the official game of the movie, actually understands the Zelda timeline, Jeff Pierce, He Is Error, Jeff Russell, Jeremy Jarvis, here for the Pog Talk, Joe actually plays his games Champity, video game art collector because video games are Justin Chiccio, Lateral Movement, who's got a Donkey Kong kill screen coming up, Michael, posted in the Discord right now, Chiaramonte, Nick, the video game database Morgan, Homebrew Mastermind, Divertov, the other guy who collects Korean releases, Peaceful Games, Dungeon Master, Reed Stubenik, The Promoter, Retro RPG Podcast, Tom, Obscure Variant Chaser Chase, Zaventorian, he knows all 97 Nintendo games, 32 bits or less, do the math! 360 No Scope, Alex Charns, Andrew actually collecting N-Gage O, Ben Parker, a bad enough dude to rescue the president, Chesno, all your base art belong to him, Colby, he is Sinistar, Corhagen does what Nintendo don't, Daniel McArdle, who thought this was the Retronauts Patreon, the Modern Database, Danny Gomez, the Philatelist, Dork Overlord, my childhood PlayStation idol, Game-Rave.com. Joseph Rogers got 50,000 on Double Dragon. Collector of everything, including Atari, Kalen McAteer, Sam, Sega Mark III Marks, and Sean, the video game Illuminati LaCroix. Don't think you told me if it was LaCroix or LaCroix. Thank you guys so much.